enjoying the action on TELUS, you can catch all our games online. Just scan the QR code on your screen or visit canadawest.tv to find the package right for you.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to Thunderbirds Stadium on the campus of the University of British Columbia. It is time for the Blue and Gold to open the Canada West football season for 2023. And I'm Howard Simera here with the play-by-play. Happy to be joined again by our analyst, Len Catling. And Len, I know you're excited. Plenty to talk about in this game, but we'll start off with some stuff from you here today.
Of course, Thunderbird Stadium sits on the traditional and unceded territory of the Coast Salish people, the Squamish, the Tsleil-Waututh, and the Musqueam. As always, we thank them for sharing their land. We give them all our blessing and love as we get prepared for Canada West football kicking off at UBC.
And the Dinos will get introduced here first to Thunderbird Stadium. The hometown Birds and their blue and white will follow. UBC with an impressive 25-10 win on the road last Friday against Regina. In about a minute, Len, let us know what you liked, especially about the return of quarterback Garrett Rooker, number 11.
Well, I thought UBC really came out of the gates and played to their strength. You know, a lot of nice runs through the big tackles, Theo Benedict, Gio Manu on that offensive line. Isaiah Knight just looked like he was untouchable in the early parts of that game. Really established the run, and that opened up the passing game. Garrett Rooker thought he looked a little bit rusty throughout the game, but, you know, you can't blame the guy. He hasn't played a real game of football since last October, as everyone knows, coming off that pretty gruesome hip injury that we were, you know, not only worried about his upcoming football career, but, you know, his quality of life. And he came all the way back, really got it going as the game went along. Didn't finish some of their drives. They didn't get the 6-point touchdowns, but they had Kieran Flannery-Fleck to come in with 6 field goals in the game, U Sports Special Teams Player of the Week. So I saw a lot of really good things from the UBC offense.
And I miscued there. We should have went to Calgary first. We'll talk about the Dinos now. A young team for head coach Wayne Harris, a 33-9 loss to their provincial rivals, the Alberta Golden Bears. Dom Britton, their quarterback, exciting player who came over from the Okanagan Sun after leading them to a national title.
I really like Calgary's got this Britton brother combination. Dom and Ben Britton, of course, number 89 out playing wide receiver. We were talking to the Calgary team before the game, and actually this is the first time that they're going to have played together since grade 10. So that's really exciting for them. Of course, Dom Britton, a great career with the Okanagan Sun in the BC Junior Football League. Eager to prove himself here in UBC. Big, huge game for them against their cross-province rival, or BC rival, the UBC Thunderbirds.
And I'll take you can take us into the anthems here by letting us know how excited the general populace here is in Vancouver about this UBC team. Looks like it's stacked with talent.
Oh, just stacked at every position group this year. And, you know, we talk about all the returning players on this UBC offense, but let's talk about 2 guys that have come across town from the SFU football team, Jarrell Cummings and Sam Davenport. Jarrell Cummings, what an incredible debut he had against Regina last week. Just a lockdown corner, number 2. It looked like as the game progressed, Regina wasn't even looking to throw to his side of the field. Of course, Sam Davenport, the big splash play touchdown, Garrett Rooker's only touchdown pass. Huge catch and run. Let's get into the anthems, and we'll talk a bit more about that afterwards.
And the playing of O Canada gets us to game time here on Saturday at Thunderbird Stadium. Len Catling with us. I'm Howard Samura. Thanks for joining us here on Canada West TV. And we're looking for a spectacular afternoon of football. What a picture-perfect day to play the game on the Point Grey campus as the coin toss is being held here at midfield. Len, let's talk a bit more about that UBC offense and what a performance last week by Edrin Williams-Hernandez. You were saying yak yards all pregame to me about this UBC offense.
Yeah, I mean, we saw last week in Calgary's game against Alberta, they are susceptible to yards after the catch. They actually gave up 2 short passes that turned into 70-yard plus touchdown runs. I think what UBC can do is establish a short passing game, give it to their playmakers. Edrin Williams-Hernandez is one of them, had just a great game against Regina. Get him the ball in space and let him do his thing. We know he can put guys on skates when he gets the ball in the open field. Isaiah Knight, another guy who can make a lot of ground, make people miss tackles, run through tackles. I think the yak yards are going to be really big for UBC today. Yak it up, boys. Yak it up.
It is an explosive UBC offense. Certainly hinted at that last week, as Len mentions, especially from the running back spot. Isaiah Knight, the 2-time reigning Canada West rushing champion with 20 rushes for 100 yards and that 5-yard average last week in the win over Regina. Impressive to say the least. On the defensive side of the football, UBC, some changes up front. Kayshawn Carter in there at nose tackle. Kyle Sampson and Aiden Bertuzzi will be that starting 3 up front. But you know what? The UBC defense really showed its stuff overall, especially the speed element last week.
The speed element, their defensive secondary was just all over the Regina receivers. Regina's offense couldn't get really anything going throughout that entire football game. But I like how you mentioned the defensive line for UBC because, of course, they lost Lake Corte Moore from that position group. He's now playing in the CFL for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He was a real standout performer for the UBC Thunderbirds last year. A lot of quarterback pressures, a lot of quarterback hits, a lot of sacks. So they're going to have to replace his game as they go take on the Dinos today. But I think, you're starting to see Kyle Sampson come around and take a leadership role in that position group. Kayshawn Carter, he's improving every game we see him play, and he seems to be doing a little bit more. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they can keep that momentum going here against the Dinos and their big offensive line.
And we are going to be joined at halftime by Sean Smith, the head coach of the Vernon Panthers high school football team. What's the number? He's got 6 guys, 6 of his players in this game today.
6 guys, including his son, is playing for a receiver for
That's
Calgary.
Right. Zach Smith, number 2. You'll see him, a speedster for these Calgary Dinos.
And of course, UBC fans might know him as the coach of the Hladek brothers, Ben and Bradley Hladek, who's now a tight end for UBC. Ben, of course, is now a starting linebacker for the BC Lions, living out his football dreams, playing for his provincial professional team. So we got a lot to talk about with Coach Smith, and we're really excited to have him on at halftime.
It is going to be a fun day of football here for the UBC Thunderbirds, the visiting Calgary Dinos. You mentioned the streak of dominance that Wayne Harris's team had over these Thunderbirds until last season.
This is an eye-popping stat for me. Until UBC had beat Calgary last year at McMahon Stadium, they had lost 10 consecutive games. And another stat, UBC has not beat the Calgary Dinos at Thunderbird Stadium since 2006. I don't think that stat sits too well with head coach Blake Nill for the UBC Thunderbirds. And I think UBC wants to take care of that and get that one off the books today.
Looks like Cesar Rednar, Brookman, number 20, one of the guys back to receive a Shamark McBean, number 13, the deep man, and Edrin Williams as well, number 1, Edrin Williams-Hernandez, we should say. All back to return the opening kick here by the Dinos as we get set for action here at Thunderbird Stadium.
UBC not messing around, 3 guys back to return the opening kickoff.
They're going to squib it along the ground right into the hands. I believe that was Dimitri Patterson, number 38, and the Birds will take the ball at about the 38-yard line to get their home portion of their Canada West season underway.
What a play by Patterson. He just snared that line drive like a shortstop in baseball. Decent return to 10 yards. Good field position for for the Birds to start things off.
And this offense lining up, you're going to see Williams Hernandez, number 1, Jason Soriano, number 3, Shamar McBean, number 13, and of course, the transfer 83, Sam Davenport, out of Simon Fraser. He lines up high to the far side of the field. Ball for quarterback Garrett Rooker and Isaiah Knight in the backfield. Here's Rooker. Time to throw, has a man on the sidelines. Oh, and looking there for Soriano.
Soriano found a nice soft spot in the Calgary defensive cover. Rooker just put it a few yards over his head.
4 catches for 43 yards last week for Jason Soriano. Of course, the BC High School Football Player of the Year a number of seasons back at Vancouver College. Settling into his role here now as a third-year player in this UBC receiving corps. Davenport back out wide to the high side of the field. Rooker stays in the pocket, elects to run it, and he's going to tuck it after a short gain. About a 4-yard gain there for Rooker.
Exactly what the Calgary defense wanted to start this game. Great coverage downfield. Rooker, you could see him going through his progressions, just had no one to throw to. By the time he decided to tuck it, go for a run, totally taken down by Liam Reed and the rest of the Calgary linebacking crew. So great start for this young Calgary defense, who had a few issues last week against the Alberta Golden Bears, but they look like they've shored things up.
Sibley at the 30 will field that Flannery Fleck a punt and get it up to about the 39-yard line. Matt Sibley, another Okanagan Sun alum. Ernest Manning High for Calgary with a nice return there. Sibley, one of their top receivers. We're going to call the name Zach Smith, number 2. Dante Carbone out of Mount Douglas High School in Victoria. Sure-handed as they come. Wears number 81, Sibley 87. Rowan Reed, one of those Vernon Panthers. And, of course, Ben Britton, who Len mentioned in the pregame, the brother of starting quarterback Dom Britton, 2 years younger. The brothers united. And this time they'll find Carbone for a gain up to about the 42-yard line.
Nice little dink and dunk to start the game there between Britton and Carbone.
Dante Carbone, as sure-handed as they come, as we mentioned, played for head coach Mark Townsend on those great Mount Doug Rams teams out of Victoria.
Nice play by Shimshimi to come up, make the tackle, keep it second and long for the Dinos.
Britton the handoff. No, he keeps it instead. Has a man. And they're going to get the first down there as they go up the field to Ben Britton. The brothers connect.
Nice.
And we saw some nice chemistry last week. Calgary had a tough one last week against Alberta, but in those moments that the brothers looked for each other, there was some chemistry for sure.
Looked like they're really on the same page there. Nice little rollout, quick strike. Britton to Britton connection.
That'll bring the Dinos to their own, let's call it their own 50, 1st and 10. After forcing the 3 and out, Sua, his first carry of the day. Nick up the middle, lowers the pads and gets close to a first down.
Really nice design play there by Calgary. By the time Sua had that ball out in the flats, he had all kinds of room to run. Great blocking by the Calgary O-line, opening up some holes for him. And Sua, once he gets a little sliver of daylight, he's going to bang it through there and pick up extra yardage.
He rushed for a long of 14 yards last week. Not a lot of dynamic 20-plus yard plays for this Calgary team. I think 3 on the game against Alberta. They need some dynamic plays here against this UBC defense today. Again, Sua, this time up the middle again, gets the first down and more. So Calgary finding something that works. And that offensive line getting some push, opening some holes for Sua.
I like the way Sua runs the ball. He just puts it in under his arm. Doesn't think big, just thinks what's in front of him. Nice little cut there. Brings it back into the middle of the field. Picks up the first down.
Sua is a 5th-year player from Nepean, Ontario, a transfer from Waterloo. And he's bringing that veteranness to the backfield of these Dinos. Why not go and feed the hot hand again? He's patiently weaving his way up behind the guards.
Again, you said it, patient run. Look at kind of sizes up where the hole is, and then boom, just drives right through it.
He's just setting Dom Britton up for some play action here, maybe to that receiving core. On 2nd and about 6, we'll call it here.
I like the looks of this Calgary offense on their opening drive, really playing within themselves, taking what the defense is giving them, moving the ball down the field.
Oh, a direct snap. Flags fly, but looks like a direct snap there to, was that a direct snap to Sua?
I don't know if it looked like maybe a UBC player jumped offside, and all kinds of chaos ensued after that.
So let the officials sort that out as you.
Oh, a direct snap to Sua, but a direct snap right to his face mask. So I don't know if that was necessarily by design.
Ironing out the rust here. Week number 2 for both teams.
So an offside on UBC, that's going to give Calgary a second and 1. So this drive continues.
Well, there's no question Blake Neal proud of the job his team did last week, avoiding the penalties in the win over Regina. Calgary here on 2nd and short. Sua again, and he's got plenty. We are in the midst of a nice drive here by these Calgary Dinos. Grinding out yards on the game, establishing that run game with that O-line up front.
It looks like Calgary's got a pretty simple game plan, but proving very effective thus far.
Well, they're going to go
establish the run, take what you can in the passing game.
Sibley and Deng, the wide receivers here. 1st and 10 from the UBC 35. Britton keeps and finds Sibley open. A great play design there.
This is what happens when you establish the run game early. A whole bunch of UBC defenders bite on that fake. Britton, all kinds of room to roll out. Finds Sibley in the flats. There you go. Another first down for Calgary. Very professional workman-like drive here.
I think that's the way to put it. Coach Harris obviously thrilled with a response from last week's effort, bouncing back and having to go on the road against a nationally ranked UBC team. And Calgary could not be asking for more right now. Britton fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, has a man again. And that time, going to the fullback. That was Evan Smith rumbling.
Very nice, again, design play here. This time Britton rolls out to his offside. Nice, accurate throw out to Smith. Rumbles up, great pickup on first down, 7 yards. Really keeping it to 2nd and short on this whole drive. Very impressive Calgary offense thus far.
Ben Sangwa with the finishing tackle there for UBC, number 15. Here come the Dinos. Britton looks to the end zone. Ooh, and Gob Deng, the West Side Warriors Vancouver native there, targeted. But a nice job there. I believe that was Jarrell Cummings on the corner.
Jarrell Cummings is just like a blanket, especially when you get down here in the red zone. Look at this coverage he puts on him. Runs stride for stride with the receiver. Even gets a hand up there.
Wow.
Just such an exceptional player, the way he positions himself covering wide receivers. Jarrell Cummings, we talked about him before the game, and I'm going to wax poetic about him all game. I was so impressed with his game against Regina.
Dinos instead will settle for the field goal. They're going to get it, although we see a flag on the field.
Yeah, we got some laundry on the field on the close sideline here.
Vince Trombari with the...
Oh, no flag on the play.
So the Trombari field goal is good, and the Dinos make good on their first drive of the game. We had to be impressed. They forced the 3-and-out on defense, come back in UBC's home debut, march down the field, and pick up 3 to start this game.
Very impressed with the Dinos, the way they ran their offense. Like we were saying, you know, professional, workmanlike, play within yourself, take what the defense gives you. ate up a good 5-6 minutes off the clock. Culminates with 3 points. Early lead for the Dinos.
And here come the Thunderbirds. The handoff is going to be to Kapler, it looks like. Much talk about Kapler in the preseason as we attended fall camp and noticed Kapler being used in the slot, number 33 out of Ventura, California, Len, but he lined up as a traditional running back there.
And it was interesting, both him and Isaiah Knight were on the field at the same time in the backfield that time. That's what one of the things Blake Nill was saying. He wants Kapler on the field more, so lining him up in the slot will help with that.
A gain of 3, 2nd and 7. That one off the mark again. UBC struggling here to get things going as they look for Soriano. But you kind of almost wonder, did he knock away a pass intended for Davenport? The schematics were a little askew there in terms of the precision they wanted.
Yeah, it looked a little bit confusing there, but some great defense there by Nate Boschman to come up and knock that one away from Soriano.
Boschman, one of the many BC products in this game. Out of Kelowna, played for the Owls.
UBC offense, after all we said about them before the game, looking a little disjointed here in their opening 2 drives.
And credit Calgary in that defense for flummoxing them throughout in this early portion of the contest at Thunderbird Stadium. Nice crowd on hand today at Thunderbird Stadium for the home opener.
Just great to see everyone out here. Sunny day, nice cool ocean breeze out at Point Grey, enjoying an afternoon of Canada West football.
Kieran Flannery Fleck, double duty, place kicking and punting. He's going to with English on this one. Calgary's going to have, and that's a late hit. Flags fly, and
wow,
really don't like to see that coming. The UBC Thunderbirds, and that late hit coming from Chase Henning, the linebacker, I believe.
Wow.
So that's going to give them even better field position here.
That's going to draw the ire of Blake Nill. There's no need for that. This is going to give Calgary great field position.
Here's Sibley out of bounds, and he takes the big hit.
Oh, Sibley's a good yard out of bounds there. Just no need for that.
I'm not sure I got the number right there, so. I saw a 30 number coming in as well there.
That was 38. That was Dimitri Patterson who laid the late hit on Sibley.
So Patterson with that one. And the officials talking over that one. But, boy, UBC right now struggling on offense, special teams not doing their job there. And, boy, I'll tell you, you're just giving more momentum to this impressive Calgary effort in the early going of this football game.
Well, and your defense has just been on the field for a prolonged Calgary drive, and now you're going to kind of put them underwater here. Calgary's going to start this well inside UBC territory. You don't want to be giving your opponent a short field this early in the game, so Patterson's going to hear about it from his UBC coaches, and sure he'll learn from that and won't make the same mistake twice.
Last week, Calgary with a loss to Alberta, UBC with a win in Regina, and Manitoba with a big win over Saskatchewan. The opening week of play in Canada West, Calgary did have the luxury of getting in a preseason game, but the UBC Thunderbirds did not. So a lot of kudos to the Birds for that effort on the road, flying into Regina the day of the game, winning it, getting back that evening. A long day, but a very successful one. UBC trying to build some traction on that victory, but
wow, so Calgary reacted to the late hit by Patterson, took a 15-yard penalty of their own, penalties offset, so UBC dodges a bit of a bullet there.
Still great position here, though, at UBC's 50-yard line to begin this drive for quarterback Dom Britton and company. Britton to his right, rolls out, goes down the field, has a man. Oh, and a fingertip catch, unable to pull that one in.
Looks like that was number 85, Gob Dang.
Gob Deng, as we mentioned, a West Side Warrior, a Vancouver product.
Showed great speed there, got some separation, was behind the defender, the UBC defender. Just couldn't quite squeeze it, but nice arm here by Britton. Maybe just a little bit outside.
Oh, he had that football. He had brought it into his chest, Len, as the replay showed. Great job by our Canada West TV crew here. Second down, and the flags once again hit the turf here.
Looks like we might have some early movement by the Calgary O-line or possibly the receivers.
So the Dinos, a little adversity in this drive. They'll go back 5 yards, call it 2nd and 15 from their own 49 or 54.5-yard line, just on the other side of midfield. The Calgary showing you that desire to put some verticality in their offense, which was missing last week. This time overshooting the receiver Carbone is Britton.
UBC got some good pressure in the Calgary backfield there, flushed Britton out of the pocket and forced him to rush the throw. This is going to be a key for UBC. They've got to get into Britton's face and make him make quick, hasty decisions.
Edrin Williams-Hernandez now in to return this punt. Terrific punt takes Hernandez down to his 3-yard line. The edge with a cut, plants a foot, tries to evade, but is going to run to his own man and get taken down at about the 5-yard line.
Oh, such a nice cutback move by the edge. He fooled his own special teams colleague, Caden Cook, and kind of ran into him.
The Calgary punter, though, Chris McLean, number 18, a special talent. That is a leg.
So UBC's got some work to do now. Let's see if they can get their high-flying offense going after a couple subpar drives to start this game.
1st and 10 from their own 10. Knight again in the backfield. Rooker, quick release, finds a quick outlet. We're looking for a number there. Looks like it's Kapler making the reception.
And this is nice. You got to get the ball into Kapler's hands early. Get him involved in this game and utilize him as a weapon we know he can be in this UBC offense.
So a carry and a catch already for number 33 out of Ventura, California. This time a pitch or just a quick little handoff there to Knight, I believe that was. And we're going to move the sticks here for a 1st down. So UBC builds itself out from the shadow of its goal line here as they continue their march up the field.
Nice little simple cutback handoff here to Knight. Let him run downhill, get the 1st down. UBC's at its best when it's mixing the passing game in with some thundering runs by Isaiah Knight.
1st and 10 at their own 21. Rooker right up the middle, has a man wide open, and a great catch there from Jason Soriano.
This play fake here you're going to see on the replay from Rooker to Isaiah Knight is just top shelf. Look at the way the Calgary D-line just all moved to follow Knight. Opens up this huge passing lane. Rooker, easy pitch and catch to Soriano. Big play.
Great job there. You're right, Len. He everybody bit. He goes hard to his right, then passes right up the middle. Soriano had carved out a great route there to make that pass, a 1st down here for the Birds, who are on the march now. Quick release again, this time again to Soriano in space, but what a tackle by the Dinos. A great job there by Chisda.
Well, there goes my theory about UBC looking for yak yards on the short passes.
That's a big-time play by 16 from the corner.
Jordan Chisda just comes up and all business. What a tackle. Goes low, wraps the legs. Soriano can barely muster a yard on that one.
And that's when he gets 1 yard after the submarine tackle by Jordan Chisda. So 2nd and 9 here for UBC. Ooh, they hand it to Kapler, and Dane's going to lose some yardage there back to the 30. So, boy, this Calgary defense is coming in frisky and ready today.
Well, we saw Isaiah Knight really and Rooker really work the ball fake earlier in this drive, but Calgary was not fooled at all on this one. That's number 4 in the backfield. That's Ben Dobson. He was 7 yards in the backfield by the time that ball was even handed off. So this Calgary defense really showing some strengths.
UBC with 433 yards in the win over Regina in total offense last week, and Calgary doing a great job, and their field position will continue to be great here. They're going to start 1st and 10 from their own 45.
Wow, what a collision there by Sibley, and looks like that was Reese Griffiths who made the hit, but he actually took the worst of it.
Reese Griffiths with a great job there.
Griffiths kind of looks like he got clipped by his own man as he was making that tackle. Let's hope he's okay.
First-year player from Langley Secondary, played for the Langley Thunderbirds. And this is not an easy lineup to crack as a first-year player, and Griffiths doing a good job there when called upon and getting opportunities.
So again, Calgary's going to start with some pretty good field position. And there's Griffiths getting to his feet. That's good to see.
Number 52 will lead the field on his own power, so
looked like he got a bit of a stinger. Looks like as he made that big hit on Sibley, one of his own players came in and kind of clipped him. So good to see he's up and okay and walking off under his own steam.
Yeah, UBC, from their perspective, really need to start getting some pressure on this Calgary offense. That linebacking core did such a great job last week. It's a handoff. Sua up the middle. Gain of about 2 as he is met.
Great push there by the big UBC D-line. We talked about them, how important they're going to be for the success of this defense. Get a nice penetration. Don't give Sua any holes to run through. Knock him back. Limit him to a short gain on 1st down.
Second and about 9 here. Let's maybe a long 8. Oh, bad snap there. Britton with one hand is pursued. Ball is loose. Baker falls on it. UBC football. What a play. We were just talking about getting some pressure in the backfield, and they get it there.
Ben Sangwa was absolutely shot out of a cannon from the blind side. Tracks down Britton. Knocks the ball loose. Look at Sangwa. Look at this penetration. Unblocked. Chases down the quarterback. Strip sack. Ryan Baker. Johnny on the spot. Falls on that ball. UBC is in business.
Sangwa from the defensive half spot. We were just talking about the speed they were showing. They showed it there. And that sets up Garrett Rooker and company in prime position here from the 33-yard line of the Dinos. Pass complete there to Davenport, it looks like. And he's going to pick up a nice gain on 1st down.
That was, I believe that was Kapler again.
My mistake, yes, Kapler, 33.
So it looks like they're making a concerted effort to get him the ball in his hands, which is good to see as he's playing out of the slot back position.
2nd and 5 now, UBC on the march after the turnover. Completion to Kapler now. This time they will find Davenport, and he fights for that 1st down marker stick. I don't believe got there.
This looked like the timing of that route was a little bit off. It looked like Rooker might have just thrown that a little bit before Davenport had made his full break or lined up in his position. So looks like UBC is going to bring in U Sports Canada West. Special teams player of the week, Kieran Flannery-Fleck, 6 for 6 last week. And we were seeing him bang some field goals through from 40-plus yards with 10 yards to spare in the opening.
This one from 33. And he is on a roll. He's 7 for his first 7 on the season. Flannery-Fleck will equal the score here. But if you're UBC, you were set up to score a touchdown there, Len. Great play from the defense, just couldn't find the precision on offense. We're still waiting to see that UBC precision from last week.
We're still waiting for them to see them finish drives with touchdowns. I mean, you know, it's great that their kicker goes 6 for 6 in field goals last week, but as Blake Nill was saying in some of the interviews throughout the week he was doing with the great Jeff Sargent of the UBC Communications, that is sometimes a product of you're not finishing drives. Your quarterback maybe not having his full mojo back and finishing drives in the red zone with touchdowns. So it's great to see their kicker going 7 for 7 to start the season. But every time they kick a field goal, that's a touchdown that they might have left on the scoreboard.
Yeah, right now I think, you know what, trying to get that running game to complement the passing game and vice versa. We haven't seen that, and we know what Mr. Knight is capable of doing. See if UBC can't continue to build on that. But, boy, I'll tell you, you talked about the way Sangwa came from his defensive half spot on that play. That's vintage UBC, and I think if they set that tone defensively, they're going to have some success here today.
Everything, when UBC has success, both sides of the ball are making big splash plays. I'm so impressed with Ben Sangwa, just seeing him develop in this program over the years. Just a wonderful player, so fast and athletic, and just a very smart, cerebral player. Just the way he was able to see his opening there on that great strip sack, come off the edge, and then have the speed to track down Britton, who's he's a fleet-footed quarterback, and he tracked him down like no problem.
He's running in the same company, in the same geography of the field as Ryan Baker, who was Johnny on the spot, as you said, Len, and that's not a bad place to be, because I'll tell you, Baker's got a nose for the football, and he was there to clean that one up.
So let's see if that big series and big play can fire up this UBC defense here as we get about ready to start the second quarter here at Thunderbird Stadium. This crowd's getting lively. Haven't had a lot to cheer about thus far, but they're ready to explode. Crazy P down there getting them fired up, banging his drum. I know you're a big Crazy P guy, Howard.
Yeah, he's got him going here today, bringing a great spirit to the Point Grey campus on game days. Great to have Crazy P on here for the opener. Oh, right through the hands of Zach Smith. The Vernon Panthers product there, had it right in his grasp and couldn't squeeze it.
And again, a nice little bit of pressure here on Britton. He might have had to rush that throw just a little bit. Smith just can't hold on to that one, so.
Keep it at 2nd and 10 here. Dinos looking like a different team from the one that couldn't get going last week against Alberta. Britain's going to keep it. And a short gain there. UBC defense holding strong. It looked like Clark Leonard, number 36, with the tackle there. Leonard tracking down, making the tackle there.
I was just trying to see what the penalty was for, but it's an offside on one of the Calgary receivers, blew the line early. So great defensive series again for the UBC defense. They're going to get their offense back on the field in short order.
Williams Hernandez back to return this punt from Chris McLean.
I was so impressed with Williams Hernandez in the season opener against Regina. He was all over the field making great plays. Special teams and as a wide receiver.
Gonna play this one off a bounce. Can't evade a swarm of Dinos tacklers, and they were led on that charge by number 23, Chris Mushenza.
Williams Hernandez is so good at this. Look at the way he waits to pick that ball up. Draws a no yards flag. He has an uncanny ability to know when that downfield coverage has penetrated that 5-yard zone. He's a very cerebral player. I've just seen such a maturity to his game in the opening of viewing him at training camp and in that first game against Regina.
Yeah.
I'm really expecting big things from him this year.
Poise under pressure, makes time stand still, draws the penalty, and gets the Birds 1st and 10 at their own 22 to start this drive. These two teams locked at 3 in a low-scoring first half of play. Early moments, second quarter from Thunderbird Stadium. Here's a handoff.
That was big Tolu Ayadegbe getting the carry.
The newcomer to that UBC backfield.
Just great defense here by the Calgary front seven. Limiting Ayadegbe to barely 1 yard.
He had 3 carries for 4 yards last week, so trying to work him in, see how he does. As they've moved, as we've mentioned, Kapler, number 33, into the slot this year more.
Another 2nd and long for UBC.
This time Rooker. And that's a great catch at the sticks for the first down by number 4, Gavin Owen.
What a route here by Gavin Owen. Knows exactly where the first down marker is. Great blocking up front. Rooker's got lots of time. Owen sits down in that soft spot. Nice hands. Gets to the stick, gets a couple yards past it. Nice catch. Great play, UBC. First down.
Gavin Owen, a newcomer last year. This time the tough yards up the middle. UBC, if they're going to establish that run, you need those big gains on first down.
This time Ayadegbe is able to get his shoulder pad square to the line of scrimmage and plow through there. Nice 5-yard gain on first down.
You know, the UBC coaching staff wanting to establish him, give him his confidence, and you know what? Came through with a nice carry there on first down.
Man, if he comes around, how deep is this UBC running back crew?
Rooker on 2nd down, a look downfield, finds a man, McBean, Shamar at the 50, the 55, the 50, gets knocked out of bounds. What a job as Shamar McBean explodes down the sidelines.
Shamar McBean showing that when he gets the ball in space, he is a problem for defenders. When we get a look at the replay here, I want to show you this great block Ayadegbe made to pick up the blitzer, allowing Rooker the time to get that ball out to Shamar McBean. Well, trust me, it happened, but McBean, once he sees that sideline, he's able to get around the corner and just pick up some extra yardage.
Hurdling a tackler there on the sideline, moves the Birds to the 39-yard line. UBC 1st and 10, play action, Rooker wide open. Wide open, what a job by the Birds getting inside the 5.
What a play by Garrett Rooker. I don't know if he did like a little pump fake or something, but it looked like he froze that whole defensive line. Finds Sam Davenport. I mean, he's set up. He's got a full acre of real estate there out on the near sideline. He's able to turn it upfield and get it all the way down to the Calgary 5-yard line.
That's a touchdown saving a tackle by Daniel Flanagan, the Z linebacker. But UBC perched. 1st and goal here for Rooker and company. Knight in the backfield. Isaiah. Rooker, the fake. Wide open. Oh! And they go to, was that?
That was number 2, Lucas Robertson.
82, yes, at the 1-yard line.
82, pardon me, but it looked like the ball was just thrown a little bit high and he couldn't quite tiptoe around the pylon. So looks like UBC's it's going to be 2nd and goal from about the half-yard line or the 1-yard line in Canadian football, because it always moves back to the 1-yard line.
Big plays on this drive, including that first down saving catch by Owen to start this drive. Derek Engel now in the game with a big push at the goal line. We'll wait for the referee's call here. There is a flag in the end zone.
Looks like we either have it's hard to tell if UBC moved earlier. The fans here seem to think a Calgary defender was inside the 1 yard no-fly zone, but it looks like they're going to march it. Okay, so it's an offside on Calgary. That's going to give UBC a fresh set of downs to try and punch this in from the 1. I like this play, bringing in Engel, Derek Engel, backup quarterback. Keep it simple, try and stuff it in there from the 1 yard line.
Engel remains in. Looked like he tripped as they handed the ball off to Lucas. And it is a touchdown, UBC. Master Domenico with the touchdown.
You were right, Howard. It looked like Engel lost his footing there and a bit of a broken play, but that shows the true skill of Master Domenico. Did Engel? He was stepped on by the big offensive lineman, but still able to get the handoff as he's falling down to Master Domenico. Master Domenico.
He didn't look too steady either, heading into the Calgary defense.
And he was actually, it looked like he took his first hit about 2 yards out, but able to kind of spin off its second effort and drive that one in. So it wasn't pretty, but a resilient touchdown for the Thunderbirds, and they're going to jump out to a 10-3 lead here.
A 10-3 lead after Flannery Fleck adds the point after, and that was a very, very I think confidence-inspiring drive for UBC. After all the struggles they've gone through in this first half, Len, they made big plays when they needed to on a couple of occasions. McBean with a big one, huge catch by Owen as well to get first down deep in their own end.
That catch by Owen was just a thing of beauty, the way he just ran to the sticks, found his spot, got the first down, and then the big splash play to McBean.
And then Davenport with another big run.
Davenport just shows the weapons that UBC has on offense when they can get things rolling. Let's see if they can take that momentum. And, you know, let's go back to that big play by Ben Sangwa. UBC almost seemed like they were sleepwalking through the early stages of this game. Sangwa, Ryan Baker, their defense makes a huge play. Maybe that woke the sleeping giant that is this UBC offense.
That's Deacon Taylor Young, number 5, spins off a tackle and gets out over the 20-yard line.
Just great downfield coverage again by the UBC special teams unit.
Number 5, though, for Calgary, a speedster. They're able to keep him under wraps, the former New Westminster Hayek. He'll field it at his 10-yard line. And here come the UBC special teams group down the field.
Oh, wow. Number 30 for UBC. My goodness. That's Master Domenico, after punching in the touchdown, making a huge play on special teams.
Gotta love that from number 30 if you're a UBC fan. Clark Leonard of the Birds, along with Sampson, it looks like, getting in there for the tackle.
Absolutely suffocating this run game.
Tackle for a loss there by that UBC defense. Clark Leonard repping with the first group here, doing a great job.
All right, we got some stats. The man, Stu Walters.
Stu Walters in the house. Good to see Stu today. Ooh, and Smith is going to volley. I think he's going to make that catch here. They'll rule that as a catch just over the 30.
Looks like we got a flag on the play. I don't know if their feet got caught together, the receiver and the UBC defensive back. We'll have to see what the refs let us know here.
Come on, big O.
Ooh. That was a very nice catch.
You look at those first quarter numbers, though, Lennon. Defense is carrying the day for both teams.
Unbelievable.
You look at those stats and you kind of figure it's either raining or a blizzard outside.
Exactly. Not a perfect day for football. Not many crooked numbers in the offensive categories there.
Which makes that UBC scoring drive especially important right now. 10-3 the lead for the hosts here. Calgary struggling to get going on this drive.
Wow. It looks like we had a roughing play or an objectionable conduct play on the Dinos. They're pushed back all the way to their 12-yard line. 2nd
and 23 as Britton fires to his brother Ben. UBC there with the tackle, Bangura, number 17. A good job there.
Bangura read that one like a drugstore novel. All over Britton. As soon as he makes the catch, just wraps him up. Britton tries to drag him, but
I'm old enough to call Agatha Christie a drugstore novel, so there you go,
do
buddy.
they even have drugstores or novels anymore? Like, how outdated are my analogies?
Nothing's better than a book rack that turns around. All the gray hairs in the crowd are going to love that one, that reference.
Oh.
Williams Hernandez back. But this one is going to get fielded by the edge at about his own 50. Oh, Hernandez with a move. He's still got the football. And he gets knocked out at about the 36-yard line.
Wow. I just love the edge when he's back there returning punts. So patient. Surveys the first line of tacklers. Able to bust through them. Look at this. Nice little stiff arm there. Gets outside.
Look at that. Look at that. Plant the foot. 25-yard return. Sets up the short field here for UBC.
He is such a weapon in the punt return game for UBC, whether it's drawing no yards penalties, making big returns.
Out of St. Thomas More in Hamilton, Ontario. Edgerrin Williams with a great play there for the Birds on specials. The handoff here to Knight up the middle. It's wide open for Isaiah Knight. Oh, and Knight tripped at the last second. A great job by the UBC running back. And the Birds again threatening from inside the 10-yard line. Biggs came up big with the stop there.
Isaiah Knight could have driven a semi-truck through that line. Look at this hole his offensive line opens up for him. Isaiah Knight's eyes are as big as golf balls when he sees that, and boom. Ooh, a little bit of a nice block there by 7-4 of UBC, but Isaiah Knight, and you know, we've said this time and time again, the way he finishes runs, he's always driving forward, picking up those extra yards.
1st and goal from the 8. It's a handoff to Knight. He's going to get to the shadow of the goal line on 1st and goal. Haven't seen a lot of Isaiah Knight handoffs, but we're starting to see that real estate developing straight up the gut for number 5.
We're really getting a lesson in how dynamic this UBC offense can be. Last drive, it's big splash passing plays. This one, it's give Isaiah Knight the ball and let him run through this big, menacing offensive line of UBC.
And UBC again, this time the handoff and the surge forward.
Interesting, they just kept Rooker in the game this time.
Instead of Engel, yeah.
Yeah. So he jumps up to the line, tries to do the quarterback sneak, but some great stout defending there by one of the Calgary linebackers. Just jumped over the line and was able to plant Rooker.
You got an offensive line like this in this situation, Len. What's your thoughts? Keep the offense on the field, obviously.
I'd keep the offense on the field all day. Go for this, especially with you got lots of options here. You got Master Domenico, you got Engel.
And Engel's going to hand it off to Master Domenico, and he's going to get stopped at the 1-yard line. And this Calgary defense, a reason to celebrate. So you see Ajay and Biggs 8-3. Key in that series, celebrating as they come out of that, a big stop for the Dinos.
See, this is an interesting call to me, Howard. You've got this big Master Domenico, but they try and bounce him outside. I don't know, I might have just plowed that one up the middle and take your chances that he's going to push someone back into the end zone.
A little bit of finesse there from the bulldozer Master Domenico, and credit the Dinos for sniffing out that play.
Let's see if that can give the Dinos some momentum. That's a huge goal line stand in the what could be the story of this game.
Well, with 5:59 to go, and we've talked about the momentum being gained by the snap by this UBC defense. They're going to come in and really sharpen their claws here.
You know, we saw in that opening drive how Calgary was doing a really good job picking up 5, 6, 7 yards on first down, but since that drive, the UBC run defense has just been suffocating. They've really put a wrench in the Calgary game plan.
So a daunting task here for the Dinos to find a little breathing room.
This is going to be important here for UBC to get some good penetration from this D-line. See if they can force Calgary into some mistakes. Backed up on their 1 yard line.
UBC ready to bring it here as the Dinos hand off and get a great job to break out of the shadow of their goal line by RB1 Nick Sua, the fifth-year transfer from Waterloo.
What a run by Sua here. It looked like he might get stuffed inside the 5. What a cutback.
A cutback at the goal line to get up to where he got.
He's got a lot of courage, but he makes it happen and picks up a first down for Calgary, gives them some breathing room. So couldn't ask for anything more from your running back.
So Don Britton now ready to guide his Dinos back into an offensive flow. He'll take the easy outlet this time.
There's that brotherhood chemistry showing through again.
And it's so easy to fall on that, but it's true, right? That's a sandlot football. You know your brother's going to be there. He's wide open.
Exactly. Flushed out of the pocket, doesn't try and do too much, knows his brother's there out in the flats, and he makes a nice move, picks up some extra yards after the catch. But
the two Britton brothers at a Calgary St. Mary's, I got to say hello to Coach Mara and company, the basketball coach at Calgary St. Mary's, who are coming to the Samura Basketball Invitational this December. So we're going to be repped by the Britton brothers home school. Hey, they probably played on their basketball team. I bet that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, they look like multi-sport athletes looking at them before the game.
Well, we got a chance to chat with Ben there briefly on the field before the game.
Yeah.
He told us he was in grade 10 when his brother was in grade 12, and they hadn't played together since then until last week.
Now they're playing together on the Calgary Dinos, a storied Calgary Dinos football program.
And there's Sua. He's going to get tackled head over heels. And a great job there by, I believe that was Rednar Bruckman.
Wow.
Number 20.
Let's hope Sua's okay. He looked like a windmill when he went down on that one.
After. Before? No. After.
Looks like we might have had a holding penalty on Calgary. That's going to back them way back to their own 12-yard line.
So 1st and 20. And they'll run a sweep here with Smith. Flags fly again as Zach Smith tackled at about the 20.
Another penalty flag here way back in the UBC secondary. Looks like the back judge saw something. So just have to sort this out, see what the penalties are here. So a parade of penalties for Calgary on this drive. This is going to drive them all the way back. They're back inside, almost at their own 5-yard line now.
Boy, Calgary not helping themselves here. Trailing by a touchdown here with 4:24 left in this opening half of play. Thanks for joining us once more on Canada West TV. I'm Howard Samura with Len Catling. We're enjoying our Canada West TV broadcast here today from Vancouver as Britton, stepping back into his end zone, rears back and has Deng, who very quickly slips the tackle from Cummings before getting driven out of bounds. Was that Sangwa that came in with the hit?
I think it was
number 15 and Ben Sangwa.
these UBC defenders. They're just swarming to the ball. Gets past Cummings, but goodness gracious, Ben Sangwa. He is just all over the field.
And I believe number 20, Cesar Rednar Bruckman in there as well, out of John Barsby Secondary School in Nanaimo.
Just swarming to the ball. You gotta love to see that from the UBC defense.
Right up the middle, through the hands of Deng. I watched the Detroit Lions beat Kansas City, and I'll tell you, their receiver, was it Tony?
Kadarius Toney, yes.
That one was reminiscent of the Tony pass that he dropped right through Deng's hands. He'd love to have that one back with number 85. Great throw here on the money from Britton.
Just a little bit behind him.
But yeah, we'll give him that.
It hit him in both hands, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, I think I speak a truism there for Goff. He wants another chance to make a catch.
Yeah.
He's a great receiver.
No, he'd want that one back. 100%.
That snap skips along the ground. McLean gets it off. That's going to go out of bounds at about the 34-yard line, I believe.
This Calgary kicker's got a heck of a leg on him.
You know what? Great job by the crew last week doing the Calgary-Alberta game, and they really highlighted McLean and the leg he has, and we're seeing it in person here today.
Wow. He just changed the whole field position game there with one swift boot.
UBC with a chance to make a statement by halftime. They're going to take over 1st and 10 here at the 36-yard line, their own 36.
It's an important drive for UBC. They're going to be kicking off to start the second half, so they want to come away with some points here before halftime.
Scrambling to his right, Rooker now looking up the middle, slings it, has a man. A great job, McBean with a catch, breaks the tackle past midfield, and he will get taken down at about the Calgary 52-yard line.
The absolute patience of Garrett Rooker on this play is what sets him apart from most quarterbacks at this level. Surveys the field, downfield, goes through his progressions. That's a long developing route for Shamar McBean. He's got to come all the way from the other side of the field. Rooker's able to hit him in stride. Shamar McBean does his thing, some yak yards. Let's go. You know I love the yak yards, Howie.
Here come the Birds now. The Calgary 52, 1st and 10, 2:51 left. Opening half a play with a 10-3 lead here. Rooker, plenty of time. Put some air under this one, and that's going to get picked off by the Dinos at their own 15. The return coming back up the field. It's Chisda, Jordan Chisda, 35-40, gets taken down at his own 42, and that is a huge play for this resilient Calgary defense.
I was just talking about Garrett Rooker's patience, and I don't know if him and Sam Davenport had some miscommunication there, but it looks like Davenport broke his route off and ran a bit of an out pattern. Looks like there was confusion right off the snap.
And Chisda's got a lot of time to decide how much he wants this football. He makes a nice break on it, and the former Chilliwack Valley Husker, the BC Junior Football League, makes a big pick, gets his team just shy of midfield here.
Huge play by Chisda.
Calgary with a chance to draw even here by the half. Little pitch there to Zach Smith. Using that speed, gets cut down and is going to fall at about the 50-yard line.
Wow. When you run on these UBC linebackers, you really pay the price.
And there's Zach Smith, who was joined by his father, Sean Smith, his head coach at Vernon at the half. So stick around on Canada West TV for that halftime interview with Sean Smith. 6 Vernon Panthers playing in this game today. We'll talk to Coach Smith about that, about his prized pupil at Vernon, none other than Mr. Hladek, manning that starting linebacking spot with the Lions right now.
The BC Lions, Ben Hladek, and he's really come into his own this year after being drafted by the BC Lions a couple years ago.
Yeah,
of course, his brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
His brother Bradley Hladek playing tight end for the UBC Thunderbirds, big part of the passing game.
Hladek tradition here at UBC, and of course, Coach Smith playing a huge role in the annual Kalamalka Bowl. This year, unfortunate for everybody concerned that the wildfire situation, the air quality, Len, forcing them to cancel that game this season. But great, I think, for a BC city to establish a tradition to have UBC preseason football.
Such a great football town, Vernon, the whole Okanagan. They just love their football, so supportive of it, and so many great players come out of that region of the province.
Deng and Sibley lined up wide here for Britain on second down to the sideline. Can't get that one to go. That one intended for number 81, Dante Carbone.
Ben Sangmois was a half yard away from a pick six and taking this one back to the house.
He had a lane. You're right about that, Len. 15 is so active.
He has just been all over the field today. So impressive.
So the beauty of the three-down game allows the quick turnarounds here. UBC's defense comes up big, and botched snap there. McLean does a great job of getting it away. He makes a heck of a lot out of nothing. And here's the edge getting knocked out of bounds.
Another great job by Edge, fielding that one off the bounce in full running stride.
Williams Hernandez, the UBC speedster, wearing number 1.
Close to a punt block here by the UBC Thunderbirds. So McLean had a little bit of bobble on the snap there.
Oh, extremely close. So Birds now 1st and 10 from their own 30. 2:04 left to make a statement here in this opening half. Here is Rooker. Finds an outlet in Isaiah Knight, the running back. A 5-yard gain there for Knight, who is nifty out of the backfield.
Some good pressure there by Calgary coming off the edge.
Well, that's a nice spot. I thought that was a 5-yard gain, closer to 6 or 7 here.
Great play by Isaiah Knight there. Gives his quarterback that nice outlet.
Oh, and there's a bad snap there. Rooker's going to pick that up, look downfield, finds a man. That was Williams Hernandez.
You know, we talked about the cerebral play of Williams Hernandez this year and how we're just seeing so much good, intelligent football out of him.
It's going to bring up 3rd and a long one here, I think. Or no, actually, they're matching that spot up. It is inches to go.
For Williams Hernandez to sense his quarterback was in trouble, come back to the sidelines and give him an outlet to pass to. Great play.
So the Birds with a handoff here, and Knight is going to trip over the line and move the sticks down the field.
You know, Isaiah Knight's running style makes him almost automatic on these short yardage situations. Calgary did a good job. They were getting far into the backfield and actually got some pads on Knight, but the way he's always driving forward, finishing those runs.
Rooker, look at the time Rooker has in the pocket. He is going to break contain here, find a man. It's Knight again, can't juggle that one. Isaiah gave it his all as Rooker was safe in the pocket until he wasn't.
Did a good job to evade the pressure and roll out. Isaiah Knight did a great job here. Look at Isaiah Knight. He's blocking in the backfield, senses Rooker's going to have to roll out. Finds himself wide open, just couldn't squeeze that one.
Credit the Calgary defense. There are a lot of steamboats there, Len, for the quarterback, Garrett Rooker. 2nd and 10. UBC's holds the game. Davenport, a great move to break free from 2 tacklers to get the first down. He willed that first down.
What a play by Davenport here. Looks like he was going to be tackled 3 or 4 yards short of the first down, is able to spin it back inside, get nice and low to the ground, shed a tackler, fall forward, first down, UBC in business.
Yeah, Deacon Young-Taylor like a missile, unable to bring him down. Slinging over the middle to Robertson Lucas. Look at those legs powering its way up the field, and he's going to get all the way to about the 36-yard line of the Dinos.
Lucas Robertson gets on his stepladder, jumps up, catches this one. You know, I love these UBC receivers. As soon as they make the catch, automatically, eyes upfield, extra yardage, shedding tacklers, stiff arms, get to the sidelines.
All the way to the 37-yard line for the tight end. Now UBC 1st and 10, sniff at the end zone here as we get near the break. Rooker surveys his options, signals downfield, and slings it. Oh, almost picked up. Biggs did a great job there to get in the way. Could have almost come up with an interception there as well. We talked about Biggs in the pregame. A huge, huge part of that Calgary defense.
This is an incredible job by Biggs reading the quarterback. Look, he's reading Rooker as Rooker's motioning. That's Isaac Ellison. He's motioning him downfield. Biggs is reading it the whole time. Able to come up and knock that one away.
Already working, as we mentioned, as a financial analyst. This guy's got his stuff together.
So you better make sure his stats are airtight because he's going to call you on them if you mess up his stats after the game.
He will look at those numbers with great depth.
Well, he really analyzed that play well. Don't.
But a key play there for the defense brings up 2nd and 10 from the 38.
This crowd is really filled out here. We were thinking for the game, it looks like. Now we're getting chirped by some Dino fans. They're saying it's all Dino fans here. I don't know. We'll have to do a head count at halftime.
Coach Smith here on hand, now ready to join us at the half, and we're in the Dino colors. And he gets to do that with his son playing for that team. Wide open! Davenport weaving his magic, trying to be dragged down by about 4 Dinos, and Davenport's going to lose his helmet, but he has been terrific throughout.
Such a crafty route runner, Sam Davenport. Just goes, finds a soft spot, sits down, easy pitch and catch. No one is within 10 yards of him when he catches that football, and as always, looks upfield, looking for extra yardage, yakking it up, Sam Davenport.
Yeah, but it's for native of the Bateman secondary. This time the pass to the end zone, it's Hernandez, he's trying to get there. Edgerin, and they're going to say he's in. Touchdown, Thunderbirds! The Edge, what a great half he's had, and he caps it off with a touchdown 17 seconds before the break.
The Edge was on the edge of pay dirt, which seemed for about 5 to 10 seconds there. Makes a nice catch at about the 5-yard line, turns it up. He smells that end zone. You know he wants to score a touchdown. Gets stood up, hit 3-4 times, but then his offensive line comes in, pushes him over the goal line, finishes the job.
Flannery Fleck will add the point after, and UBC walks the tightrope on defense, gets some key stops, and a big drive here as the half draws near its conclusion. And right now a 17-3 lead.
Wow, we've really seen this UBC offense kind of flash into their true potential here. A lot of big splash plays, some great throws by Rooker. Mixed in a little bit of running on Isaiah Knight. So many options for Rooker. Now with Sam Davenport in the mix. Of course, coming over from SFU in the offseason. All kinds of time for Rooker. Rolls out. Edger and Williams.
Won't be denied.
Won't be denied. Wills that one into the end zone.
Deacon Taylor with the return. And we'll let everybody know on Canada West TV that we will, I believe, Len, some video presentations over about the first 6.5 minutes of the half. We're going to look at last week's game versus Regina, the big win for the Birds on the road, followed by a feature on Canada West Player of the Week, Kieran Flannery-Fleck. And after that is over, we'll be joined by Vernon Panthers head coach Sean Smith. And we're going to talk about all things BC high school football, Canada West football, the whole bit. So please stick around. It's an action-packed halftime here in Canada West. And a pass. As Dang, he's going to get it. Gob Dang. One play right down the field. And look at that.
Unbelievable.
Gob Dang.
Wow.
Takes your breath away on the final play of the half.
What a gutsy play call by Calgary. Throw the Hail Mary to Gob Dang. He gets behind the UBC defenders. Look at this breakaway speed by Dang. Sheds 3 UBC defensive backs, and then he is off to the races.
And look at those strides. Oh, my goodness.
He was 10 yards clear of Ben Sangwa by the time he crossed the goal line. What a game-changing play for the Calgary Dinos, who are going to start the second half on offense.
That is a...
Oh, we got a bumble snap.
Going for 2 in the end zone. Can they convert it? They can't, but still a huge play here to end the opening half. Calgary unleashes the huge downfield home run to Gob Dang from Dom Britton. That'll make it 17-9, Len. What a half of football.
We were ready to, promoting what's going to happen at halftime, and all of a sudden the guy's running down the field, 80-yard touchdown. Unbelievable. Well, that was an exciting first half to the Canada West home football season for the UBC Thunderbirds.
And we will leave you now, be back with the start of the second half in a bit, but we've got an action-packed halftime presentation here. Howard Smith, Len Catling. Stay tuned for more throughout this halftime from Thunderbird Stadium.
So Aldo Galvin will put his toe on the football, and we are underway. A kickoff that'll go 5 yards deep into the end zone, but brought back by Edgerrin Williams-Hernandez. He'll get across the 12, up near the 13-yard line. And then Rooker drops back, scrambles to his right. Gonna light it up downfield. That's complete into Regina territory. Nice reception downfield as Pelche's back to pass. Runs out of time, but slings it far side. That's complete. Lots of room to run across the 40. That'll be good for a first down. And a big one there for the Rams. But did the ball come out at the end of the play? UBC says it does, and now flags fly as well for the Thunderbirds. Garrett Rooker on first down for UBC. First play after the turnover. Looking for the sudden change. Far side has the man. That's complete. Williams-Hernandez spins away from 2. 3 tacklers finally going to be brought down. Scrimmaged first and 10 at their 15-yard line. Rooker hands the ball off to Knight. Big hole through the middle. Dances across a couple of tacklers and then is able to carry the pile to the 30-yard line. UBC offense after the deep shot. Rooker drops back to pass, looks over the middle, that's complete! Lots of room to run ahead. Going towards the house, it's Davenport, one man to beat. He'll skip by him and score! Into the end zone, Sam Davenport, first Canada West football touchdown. Territory at their own 22. Pelche pumps, now passes far side. Ball is up and complete. Nice catch on that far side as the Regina Rams just run a little stop and go pattern on that far side, and coming down with it was Deshaun Mims. Backfield movement. Fake the handoff. Rooker back to throw, has time. Now he's forced out of the pocket to the far side. Pulls it down. He's going to be wrangled out of bounds. Just a one-arm tackle. How about that for a show of strength by the Rams? Rooker on second down. Here comes the blitz, and he's caught. What a sack as the ball comes out too. Rooker's going to jump on it. Or one of the offensive linemen, pardon me. Rooker back in, 16 of 21 for 252 yards. He's in the gun on second down. Hands off to Ian Digby, and he is met immediately. What a stop by the Regina Rams. Back to pass. Pelche finds Contendi out of the backfield. He's got room, but stumbles. Gets to the 50, lowers his shoulder down to the 45 before finally wrapped up from behind. T-Birds up by 2 majors. Looking for more as Rooker's back to pass, looks over the middle, has a man wide open. open. It's McBean up to the 50, 45, dips inside. Good sure tackle made by Tkachuk, but not before. A big game by the UBC offense and Shamar McBean. Well, this is interesting as Pelche pointed to his chest after the last one. Gonna fake it, run it outside. Can he get the edge? Touchdown! Noah Pelche finds Painter and rams his way into the end zone for Regina to cut into the UBC lead. So O'Flaherty goes back to work. 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game. His team down by 12. O'Flaherty far side. That ball complete across the 25-30, up across the 35-yard line before finally being brought down to Sean Mims. But boy, and now with just 1 second on the clock, Bryden O'Flaherty is going to take a knee, and that's going to do it for the night here tonight, as the Regina Rams are going to fall to the UBC Thunderbirds 25-10 here at Mosaic Stadium.
The Canada West Special Teams Player of the Week is kicker Kieran Flannery Fleck of the UBC Thunderbirds. Flannery Fleck simply did not miss in his season debut, playing an integral part of UBC's season-opening 25-10 triumph over the Regina Rams. The third-year kicker went 6 for 6 on field goals, leaving him just one shy of a single-game Canada West record. In a tight defensive battle, it was Flannery Fleck's accuracy that proved to be the difference. 4 of his 6 field goals were hit from 30 yards out or beyond, including his longest drive from 38 yards. Flannery Fleck and his Thunderbird teammates return home to take on the Calgary Dinos next week.
It was awesome. You know, it was the best thing about football is it's a team sport. So, you know, I share it with all the guys on punt, kickoff, and field goal, both field goal teams. You know, I wouldn't have been able to have that kind of success on the field without all my teammates. You know, Brad snapping, Derek holding, and all the boys protecting the block point and everything. So it's a team effort, it's a team sport, and I'm just really happy we also got the win. You know, Regina's a really good team, really well coached. So it felt really, really good. So.
Your first one, I think, was your longest, 38. Did that kind of help you get in a groove, hit a decently long one like that early in the game too? Yeah,
you bet. You know, it's just kind of, I said before the game and even during the game, the first kick is just going to set the tone, you know, and I felt really good going in. It was down the middle as well, so just had to, just like an 8-iron, just, you know, finish the stroke, so.
How impressive was that to be able to get a win like that in one of the tougher buildings to play in the league?
For sure, yeah. It meant a lot for us. I think there was a bit of, not hesitation, but, you know, there was that, you know, idea circling around that we didn't have a preseason game, so people were definitely thinking about that, but not in our building. You know, we knew what we can do, and, you know, we played against them twice last year, and obviously they had us at homecoming, but we had the upper hand in the playoffs, and we were just kind of riding that, and we know the skill that we have in our building, offense, defense, special teams, and we felt good. We felt good with the game plan, and everybody had their heads up the whole time, and we had great energy on the sideline, and this team's very, very close in the locker room as well, so that really helps on the field and off. So.
Now looking to carry that momentum forward. Home opener, that's always a special one too. You kind of mentioned it though, this team's close. This team is really deep as well. What's the feeling like going into week 2 here?
Yeah, we're excited. Obviously the home opener, it's supposed to be a beautiful day as well in Vancouver, so we're excited to host Calgary. You know, they're full of great players as well. All of Canada West has great players all around, great teams, well-coached teams, great athletes. So it's going to be a battle no matter what the scores were last week. Historically, Calgary's had UBC's number in the past, but we're excited for the challenge this week, and we're gonna try our best to give the fans something to root for this week.
It's weird not to look in your eye.
Canada West TV at the half. Howard Samura here along with our broadcast partner Len Catling. Happy to be joined by none other than Sean Smith. He's the head coach of the Vernon Panthers high school football team, a guy I've known for many, many years. Someone who's developed into one of the best coaches in the province of British Columbia, and love the legacy he's leaving with that high school to university football connection. Sean, thanks for joining us here at the half of this game. We're going to get to so many of your accomplishments in a second, so many of the players you coach that are playing here today, but I know you're down here with your Vernon team. You guys probably played a game this week. What happened?
Yeah, it just so happens we were able to play Mount Doug yesterday at Cloverdale Field. Had a really good game against them. We beat them 32-0. Boys played a lot better than we did last week, so you know, every week we try and get a little bit better, and this week we did.
Vernon Panther football, and I think coaches trying to start a football program and make it a provincial power, how long does it take?
Well, it takes a long time for some. I mean, unless you get lucky and get a whole bunch of star athletes, it can come a little bit quicker, but it is a long building process that you put a little brick in each year and you have little successes that you build off. The first one, I was introduced to you for the first time. We played on T-Bird Field. We'd never really been to the quarterfinals in my time as a coach, and we made the quarterfinals. We played Rick Hansen, huge underdogs on this field. Yeah. We eked out a win where we didn't score a touchdown. I think we ran back 2 fumble recoveries, and I mean, I was crying on the field after talking to Howard when he interviewed me. And it was one of those where, you put in so much time and you get that win, and it was just such relief. But the neat part is after you put the bricks in and you start building this thing, now it's more like it's a disappointment. Yeah. So last year we lost in the semis, and a huge disappointment. So it's neat to see how you build it to that point where the standard becomes up here when it once wasn't.
Hey, I know that the biggest building block you've had thus far in your program didn't play in that first game here at Thunder, but Len wants to ask you. He's been itching to ask you about this player because we all love him. He is BC football personified.
One of my all-time favorite Thunderbird players, Ben Hladek. Now he's obviously living out his dream playing for the BC Lions, a professional team. And very apt, the BC Lions are a proud sponsor of our game here today. What's it been like for you as a coach, see him go through his success with your program, his great success at UBC, and now it's kind of culminated where he's a starting linebacker for the BC Lions?
I mean, it's super for me personally as his coach, for our program, for our kids to see him, for him to see all the work that he put in over the years pay off at every level. And I tell all our kids that come up to this level, I say the cream's eventually going to rise to the top. And I told Ben that right away, that if you do the same things, you're an athlete and you can do things. And if you keep doing those same things, you're going to rise. And he did at UBC, and now he's doing the same for the BC Lions. I mean, he's been such a cerebral player his whole career. He works not only on his body and working on the field in practice, but he studies film, and that was something that he always did. I always tell a story. We were prepping for a playoff game, and he says, "Coach, can I come over?" and knocked on my door, and he's got this long list of, when the right tackle has his finger, 2 fingers down, it's run, and when he's got 1 finger down, it's going to be a pass. Little things like that he picked up at that age, that we could use those things in practice. So he's always kind of realized the game's more than just being on the field making plays. You gotta do those things, and I think the Lions are probably seeing the same thing, where he's studying his butt off to become better and learn tendencies so that he can make plays.
You know what? We talk about Hladek, and the fact that he was Blake Neal's first recruit here coming off a Vanier Cup championship was exciting, Coach. But you've got 6 players. I asked you to name them. I know who they are, but you gotta give them a shout out.
Yeah, for sure.
2 on UBC, 4 on the Dinos here today.
For sure. So we got Ben's brother Brad is playing for UBC, and new recruit this year is Braden Kuhn, who's playing cornerback for him. So he just got recruited this year. Dinos, we've had a lot of players come through their program. So we have Brady Zeman, who's their starting center. We have Liam Reed, who's made some plays out here at linebacker. His brother Rowan is playing receiver, and my son Zach Smith is playing receiver as well. So we got 6 at the game, and we got all our Panther players in the crowd cheering them on.
And I gotta say, you get to wear the Dino crest on your shirt because your son plays for the Dinos. Let's get that straight, right?
Yeah.
What's the pride factor like for you? I mean, he was a key part of your teams at Vernon. To see him come in here and have a position at receiver on this Calgary team.
Not just my son. I love watching all of our guys. So we have a little tradition. We're in Calgary, and one of our guys comes and plays. We always get down on the field and we take a Panther photo after. So last week we're in Calgary, and we got Joe Murphy's playing for Alberta. So he's starting as a rookie. So he came down on the field. We got a group photo. Just the whole idea that our boys are at the next level, playing and competing. And it's so great for our younger players because they now expect that someone's going to play next year and get to the next level. So it's really good for everything for our program.
Maybe our last question here, the Kalamelka Bowl, something you and Vernon football played a big role in, so many others, as you mentioned, kind of getting a forward momentum happening on a preseason game for the UBC Thunderbirds each summer. Didn't get played, disappointing with the air conditions this year, but how important and how much pride do you have in establishing further roots for that game?
Well, idea came to us a few years ago, and we thought let's try and get these U Sports players and highlight and showcase them in the Okanagan. So we wanted to do not just a game, we wanted to make it an experience. So we wanted the whole thing, and so we have 200 kids that do a skills camp with the coaches and the players on the day they arrive. At night we have what we call Huddle in the Park, so we have some music and we do some team building games with them. The next day Angus Reid does a motivational talk, and the players really responded well to that. And then we have the game where we got 2,000 people out to watch them play in Vernon, and I think it just grows the game in the Okanagan, and it I'm real proud of the way our committee has kind of put something together that everyone can be proud of. And to add to that, Howard, we'd love to invite you next year. We need an announcer. If you want to come up to Vernon,
maybe
we'd love
me
to
and
have
Len will
you.
come up.
Hey, me too.
Sorry,
Too.
yeah, of course. We want the team.
Yeah.
So invites out.
We'll see how that goes. The last play was dynamic for Calgary. What do you expect in the second half here today?
I kind of expect a little bit of the same. I think Calgary's offense has struggled so far, so to see them get a touchdown is good to see. I think they're trying to do some little jet sweeps and some quick plays to try and get some confidence, which I think they need. A big stop, UBC got down to the 1-inch line to stop, so that's a huge momentum changer for them.
It's a great football game. Sean Smith, thanks for joining us here, man. Great to see you. I know I've stepped back on my high school football coverage, but a smiling face, great to see from the fine city of Vernon.
Anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach Smith. Congratulations.
All right, well, thank you very much. Canada West TV back with more from Thunderbird Stadium, including the second half in just a moment. And we're back with you here. We thank Sean Smith for his time, his thoughts on football in the province of British Columbia. Entertaining guy.
High school football coaches are just such pillars of the community, and just to have him out here, he's got, six former players playing in this game, Ben Haladic, all the connections to the BC Lions, him basically starring in the starting linebacker core for the Lions this year. What a great interview that was. It was just so awesome to have him here.
It was fun to have Coach Smith for sure, and as we were talking, they were showing a highlight of Gob Deng going the distance. What a play that was. Gob Deng, an 85-yard pass from Dombrett.
When you're broadcasting a football game, you should never admit that something took you by surprise. But I'll admit, maybe it's the first game of the year. I kind of let my guard down, and we're getting ready to have Sean Smith on, Coach Smith at halftime, and all of a sudden I see Gob Deng just like flying down the field, like separating like Usain Bolt in the Olympics in 100-meter from the UBC defensive backs. And my goodness, what a game-changing play that was.
What a play it was. First and 10 from their own whatever, and 85 yards down the field. And that was a stunner.
Well, and then they follow it up by bobbling the snap on the point after. So who knows how, that extra point they missed will play into this. Like 17-9 is a lot different than 17-10.
Yeah, and let's talk about late momentum. In Calgary, getting the stop of UBC at the 1-yard line and that play. You put those two together, boy, that's a very interesting swing in the score here.
And it's going to be interesting to see if Calgary can get back to how they opened the game on offense. Lots of nice controlled runs by Sua. Very, very kind of almost like a dink and dunk passing game, but that was really effective for them on their first couple drives. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do here.
And the Dinos will take the opening kick. Ooh, and the Thunderbirds there on specials thought the ball might have come loose for a second. It looks like Calgary maintains possession.
Wow, we talk about momentum, almost a huge momentum shifter for the UBC special teams.
UBC looking in command until that last play of the first half. And from their perspective, Len, they're going to want to show that defense coming in and making a statement here early as Calgary comes out 1st and 10 to start the second half here from their own 21-yard line.
And you take that last play of the first half out of it, and the UBC defense was just stellar. First half.
Sua spin move to evade a tackler, and he's going to take the ball out to about the 25, 26-yard line.
Sua kind of making something out of nothing there. It looked like he was going to get wrapped up in the backfield.
7 carries for 33 yards, 4.7-yard average in that opening half for Nick Sua, number 25, the 5th-year transfer from Waterloo.
Just a nice calming presence, Nick Sua, for this young Calgary offense.
Dang in motion. Britton moving to his right as he scrambles, looks downfield, finds a man. Dang is Mr. Everything right now. He's going to get chased out of bounds at about his own 38-yard line.
Looks like we're going to have a holding penalty on Calgary.
See Britton breaking out of the pocket.
Looks like that was 96 in the backfield, Taj Judy for UBC. And I'm not sure.
Taj Judy, the Seaquam Seahawk product out of North Delta, who's really made some strides with that O-line group.
Oh, pardon me. It's going to be a penalty, it looks like, against UBC.
Or D-line.
Oh, no. Offsetting penalties. Okay, so my instincts were correct, but there was an offsetting penalty. Trust your instincts, Len. So Judy's getting held, and then I'm not sure where the UBC flag was on that play.
But Deng has certainly become a target here for Britain. Deng didn't have a whole lot of numbers coming out of that week 1 loss to Alberta.
Oh, and this is not good. Jarrell Cummings is being helped off the field by the UBC training staff. Didn't see what happened to him on that play, but it was at the near side of the field.
CB1, transfer from Simon Fraser, and the former high school star at Notre Dame Secondary in Vancouver. Jarrell Cummings, let's hope that he's going to be okay. Unable to leave under his own power.
That's a big loss for the Birds. They're going to bring in 37. That's Isaiah Ellison is into the game, taking over for Cummings, and he's going to be staring down Gob Dang.
And let's see if Britain looks to go to number 85 once more. He does. There's
Right
Dang with the
away.
football, and Ellison, Len, great to ID him early. Johnny on the spot, or ready to go rather, to make that stop.
And that was well played by Ellison. You know, just make sure Dang doesn't get behind you. We see what happens when he can get a step on you.
There's a lot of other receivers in that Calgary arsenal, including Ben Britton and Sibley, number 87, as well as Carbone and Zach Smith, number 2, already able and willing here.
We'll have to see if we can get an update on Jarrell Cummings. That could be a big shift in this game.
Sua tries to find some real estate there. Sorry, Len, on first down. He's going to gain about 2 yards.
Some good work on the UBC defense that time to limit Sua's first down run. Getting some good penetration there, this UBC defensive line.
Make sure they come out when you're going in there.
Looked like, was that big Ryan Baker coming over to make the tackle?
Ryan Baker with a fumble recovery here in this contest in the first half. Britton, he's feeling the pressure. Oh, and gets it off, and it is picked off by Baker. Ryan Baker, you just mentioned his name, Len, and he is the leader of that UBC defense.
He can smell a football through a lead wall, this guy. We saw him with the fumble recovery in the first half, and he comes out of nowhere, falls on the football. He just flies out of nowhere and jumps in front of the receiver, picks this one off. He is just all over this field for UBC. What a game changer he is.
What a job by Ryan Baker. The pride of Windsor Secondary, North Vancouver. The pitch to Knight. Isaiah lowers the pad level, and
I really like this design play here by UBC. Knight spreads out. I don't even know. That might even count as like a completed pass for Rooker. It looked like he pitches this one forward almost.
Let's take a look.
Splits
I
out.
think it is.
Gets out behind big Gio Manu, who's out as his lead blocker. You know that's going to end well if you're a running back and you got big 76 clearing the field in front of you.
The big left tackle, of course, Theo Benedict on the other side. The bookends, the best in the country. Here's Knight. He is met immediately.
Feels like there was a bit of miscommunication by UBC on that play. It looked like Soriano was coming into the backfield and he kind of stutter stepped like he thought he was going the wrong way. And then Calgary defender completely unblocked meets Knight 4 yards deep in the backfield.
So Flannery Fleck, and we saw him warming up, looking good in the pregame. We'll try it this one from 40. And Calgary, special teams coming up huge.
That was a subpar snap to Derek Engel.
Another UBC player down. I don't know if he's cramping in.
That's Flannery Fleck. I think he got hit in the leg right as he was kicking. So
let's take a look here at the replay.
The snap is low. Engel did a good job to get it up.
And that Calgary player may have rolled into Flannery Fleck. He's down right now as the trainers take a look at him. You get a stop on the goal line, you get a last play of the game, 85-yard touchdown, and then you get a block on a field goal attempt. Those little things, they're not little things, right? You're checking off some pretty big boxes here.
And they're adding up over the course of the game. But this is going to be a big loss if Flannery Fleck can't continue in this game. Of course, UBC just lost Jarrell Cummings, CB1, but looks like that's a good sign. Flannery Fleck's able to get up and walk off on his own power.
He's been so huge for this UBC football team, as we mentioned, hitting that field goal to open the scoring for UBC, his 7th straight to open the season, 6 of 6 last week in the National U Sports Player of the Week, Special Teams Player of the Week.
Only way you can get him to miss a field goal nowadays is to block it.
Play action, Britton. A lot of time to stand back. Slings it down the field. Cutting back to the ball was Zach Smith. Ben Sangwa with the coverage.
It's like Sangwa and Smith's feet got tangled up there. Both players went down. So
somewhat underthrown, right? And I think Zach Smith trying to break back to the ball. We'll take a look on the replay.
I think this is a good no call by the officials here. Ball was well underthrown. Feet get tangled up, and can't fault either player on that one.
So 2nd and 10, no call. Good no call, as Len points out. 2nd and 10, Calgary at their own 41-yard line. Early moments, 3rd quarter, 17-9. Here's Britton evading the pressure, but he's going to field that one. And the UBC Thunderbirds get in there with the sack.
That's Taj Judy. That's the second time we've said his name here in this second half, but good pressure here from all the Thunderbirds off the edge, and then Taj Judy just comes right down Main Street.
Bangura there with the initial penetration, almost took the quarterback down. Britton evades it, but as you say, Taj Judy, the North Delta product at a Seaquam secondary, has worked so hard to climb that depth chart with a big sack there. punted away, and the Birds with the Edgerrin Williams return up the sidelines, and he gets taken out just shy of midfield.
I'm actually surprised Calgary's still booting the ball to Edgerrin Williams Hernandez at this point. He just surveys the field so well from that punt returning position, able to look where the open field is, and another big return, giving UBC great field position here.
And with all that talent we've talked about, Len, on that UBC offense, quarterback Rooker has spread it around quite a bit today. Here he is, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Fakes the handoff tonight, stands in and delivers up the middle, and he has a man there. And it's Kapler. Dane Kapler with a big catch there, and that's his most explosive play, being lined up as a slot.
And, you know, he's in the slot for the first time this season, and a bit of a quiet game against Regina to open the season, but that's few catches today. I believe that's his 4th catch of the day already.
Ajay with the tackle there for the Dinos.
Maybe starting to get a bit more comfortable in that slot back position.
1st and 10 at the Calgary 47, the fake again. Wide open again, they converge quickly. It's Kapler again. Ajay with one of a half tackle there as they close quickly, but he's favoring, I think, his arm there. His right wrist seems to be giving him some trouble right now as he lines up on the corner.
He's making a concerted effort to get the ball in the hands of Kapler. Again, a nice little route. Soft underbelly of the defense. Great hands by Kapler.
Ajay and Chisda on the corners here for this Calgary secondary. A pitch. Ooh, and good for Isaiah Knight just to hang on, Len.
That was
slow developing.
Slow developing, exactly. Almost an ill-advised pitch by Rooker, but yes, great hands by Isaiah Knight to pull that one in, or that could have been disastrous if he spills that one on the carpet.
Could have derailed things there. I didn't see who the tackler was. It might have been Steen Rasmussen, number 41, the free safety. Got a John Barsby secondary in the Nanaimo. Another one of those BC players is Flannery Fleck. Good sign for him as he gets on and puts up a punt to Deacon Young. Fielded at the 6.
What a punt by Flannery Fleck. Talk about putting it in the old coffin corner.
Yeah. Showing some nice touch, doing double duty too. He took a ton of snaps last week, kicking, punting, and kicking off.
You know, it's so good to see how you know, advanced his game is this season. I mean, the kicking game was a bit of an adventure, let's admit it, for UBC last year. Half the time we didn't know who was going to be kicking the field goals.
It switched from possession. Like, we had no idea who the kicker was. It was, yeah.
And this year, Flannery Fleck seems to have a lockdown on both jobs and doing them both extremely well.
From the 6-yard line, Britton the handoff. He keeps it as his outlet. Ooh, and that is laying on the lumber. Ben Britton lays into the would-be UBC tackler.
It's Isaiah Ellison, who's come into the game for Jarrell Cummings, who left with an injury early in the first half. So,
well, let's hope from a UBC perspective that Jarrell Cummings is going to be okay. But Ellison has to meet the challenge of a big body here.
Again, it's the Britton to Britton connection. Nice little short pass. Get it to your brother in space. Let him run after the catch.
A little bit of John after the hit, too. Like to see that. Some feeling in this game right now. That is Sua. Held to a minimal gain. On first down will be 2nd and 8.
Kayshawn Carter, number 54 for UBC, does a great job on this play, just holding the middle of that line, able to finish the tackle.
Carter doing a great job on a St. Thomas More collegiate in Burnaby. Carving out a spot there on that UBC defensive front. 2nd and 8 at the 23 for the Dinos. And I think the Calgary guard 60 moved prematurely there. We'll see.
Looked like it was movement on the Calgary side. Really impressed with this UBC run defense. They've really solidified their side of the trench after that opening drive by Calgary, where they were, banging off some pretty solid runs on first down, but really haven't been able to get Sua any space to run.
Yeah, no big gash plays by Sua, and you look at how that is carried over from the Regina effort. Regina with 233 yards of offense last week in their loss to UBC at home, but UBC took a ton of penalties in that game as well. That one incomplete, looking for Ben Britton, or looking for Dante Carbone, number 81.
And again, that whole play is developed by Maka Bangura, just getting into Britton's face so fast. He's just flying off that edge. When they bring him as pressure, it's really creating havoc for the Calgary offense.
Bangura, number 17, had 6 tackles last week. He had a terrific game from his Sam linebacker spot. He's one of those guys who's grown up in this program and earned that starting role. The big booming punt here to Edgerrin Williams. That is 40. Dragged down at about the 47, but UBC continues to get great field position. I don't know if it's a bend not break thing here for this Calgary defense, but they are going to be put to the test here again against UBC.
UBC's got to capitalize on all this great field position. Edgerrin Williams is a little shaken up. Now he's going to go back down to the carpet. It looks like he might be cramping up.
5'11", 195. He's solid, and he's certainly paid his dues. We were talking in the pregame, Len, about the fact that we'd see big games from Hernandez from Edgerrin Williams one week. The next week, we wouldn't see him targeted. But now he's doing double duty. He's being targeted on offense, and he's getting a lot of responsibility in the return game.
And I just feel like when you talk to him, when you just see his body language on the field, there just seems to be like a bit more of a maturity to his game and a bit more confidence. He's got his swagger back. We saw it a lot in his rookie year, and we saw flashes of it last year in his second year, but this year he's just, his head seems to be fully in the game. He's fully committed. He knows his role on this team. He knows how he can excel on this team, and it's really good to see. I mean, he's so professional and efficient returning punts,
Hey, he walked by our broadcast location today, and he made sure he turned around and said, hey, looked us in the eye and wants us to know, hey, I'm here to play today, guys.
He's ready to go, and they talk a lot about swagger, and does that mean someone's overconfident? But when he's got his full swagger, he's playing at his best. And, it's just great to see how someone can develop into a student athlete, a football player of his caliber.
1st and 10 at their own 47. Knight dancing in the middle, but he's going to get met with a swarm of Dinos tacklers. They go down at about the 47-yard line. So a minimal gain there on first down.
Talking about the UBC run defense, let's tip our hats to the Calgary run defense. They've done a pretty good job of bottling up Isaiah Knight today. And, looking at your stats that you provided so graciously, I couldn't believe he's averaging 6.4 yards per carry coming into the team.
Over his career.
Over his career. Like, that's a video game number.
2nd and 9, a gain of 1 here. UBC, Rooker out of the gun quickly, looks downfield, goes to the far sideline. Has a man there. Is that the tight end Robertson? Indeed it is, up to the Calgary 50. So a nice toss there from Rooker.
Nice work by Robertson. This ball's just a bit underthrown, but he's able to take it in. And then UBC receivers, I keep harping on it, but they're just so good. As soon as that ball hits their hands, they're turning upfield and looking for that extra yardage.
So the big 1st and 10 now at the Calgary 50. And UBC trying to get their offensive rhythm back. Here is Rooker, finds Knight. Knight puts on a move, a straight arm, and tumbles and rolls to about the 36-yard line. Another great play in the versatility. We're talking about his rushing yard per carry average career-wise, but what a guy catching the ball out of the backfield
and
as well.
He's just so smart at releasing out of the backfield, finding the space, and then once he gets on this dance floor, he can really jitterbug. Like, he made 3 guys miss there, picks up an extra 7-8 yards. UBC is cooking now.
Z linebacker Flanagan with the tackle there on Isaiah Knight. 1st and 10 now at the 37-yard line. Rooker to the sidelines, wide open. It's going to be Sam Davenport. He's dragging tacklers over the 20-yard line.
Sam Davenport, listed in the program, 6'1", 190. But
he plays bigger, stronger, and more explosive, and he has his entire career going back to Robert Bateman in Abbotsford.
Nice hands here, able to turn. Nice little juke there. Shoulder shimmy, able to find the sidelines. Extra 10, 12 yards there.
That giving Chisda some nightmares there on the corner. Here's Rooker. Moving across, evades 2 tacklers, finally taken down. And credit the Calgary rush there as they get to the UBC quarterback. Steen Rasmussen, number 41, the free safety out of John Barsby secondary in Nanaimo, is going to get the stop there for Calgary.
And this is a real nice play by number 6, Daniel Flanagan for Calgary.
Oh, excuse me, you're right.
Yeah.
Initial by Rasmussen. Flanagan, the Z linebacker, with the finish.
Great play by Rasmussen as well, not to overcommit and at least get a piece of Rooker so Flanagan could come in and finish it off. But nice play by both of them.
So a loss there, 2nd and 13 now for the Birds. Rooker has a man down the field, wide open for the touchdown. UBC does an incredible job of getting downfield, and Brad Haladic, the Vernon product, the tight end, with the touchdown catch for the UBC Thunderbirds.
Coach Sean Smith is doing a dance, but he's wearing the Calgary Dinos shirt, but it's one of his former Vernon Panthers, Bradley Haladic. Big touchdown. Wow, how do you get that wide open? He could have set up a lawn chair out there on the sidelines. Takes it into the end zone.
UBC now looking to add the point after, and they'll do just that. Big brother Ben Haladic in the house as well today, the BC Lions linebacker, and you can bet he's doing a bit of a jig too.
Coach Smith is torn. Did he cheer? Does he cheer? What's going on there, Coach Smith? Great to see Bradley Haladic find the end zone. He works so hard, and nice play design there by UBC. They sent every receiver to the other side of the field. Only Bradley Haladic out to this near side, and he was out here all alone, wide open. Nice toss by Rooker. UBC extends their lead to 15.
Stevenson Bone, the offensive coordinator, a nice play call there. Wide open.
UBC's passing attack really starting to show its mettle here.
There's the boot from Flannery Fleck. Deacon Young, he fields it at about the 12-yard line. They'll blow it dead there for the Dinos. So 24-9.
UBC has done a really good job. They could have really played the momentum game, the Calgary Dinos, after that huge touchdown by Goff Dang to end the first half. Come out here with the ball in the second half, but the UBC defense has just made some really good plays here. Get the ball back to their offense. Here we go.
So push comes to shove here for the Dinos. Want to start to establish something, build on that momentum they had at the half. Sua with a run there. And you keep talking about that UBC run defense, especially the interior of that D-line, playing some tough defense there.
Really, and the way they're swarming the ball carrier. Defensive coaches always say the best tackle's a gang tackle, because that means all your players are getting to the football, putting a hat on the ball carrier. Seeing a lot of that good work from the UBC front seven today.
Here's Britton back to pass. Oh, and that's a flat-out drop by Deng. That's a tough break for number 85. Would have been a first down.
Would have been a first down, and he had some, I think because he had so much room to run after that catch, he might have had his eyes upfield before he secured that one. But again, just a nice route by Dang.
Right in the numbers.
Yeah, you got to make that catch. So it's a tough way to end this drive here for Calgary. And again, UBC looks like they're going to be lining up in some good field position.
Another terrific punt. Oh, UBC getting a nice job there as they get the ball over midfield.
So that was Shamar McBean, but if we can get a replay of this, I just want to point out the block Edgerrin Williams-Hernandez makes. He knows he's not going to return the ball. Look at him line up for this block. He gets right in front of McBean, gets a lead block.
You saw it there on big number 75.
Blocks an offensive lineman, lets McBean take this one off.
6'5", 240 Minikata, the offensive lineman there.
So Edgerrin Williams-Hernandez giving up 100 pounds, but he springs his return partner with the lead block. What a player.
So Ian Digby that got the carry there, I think. Indeed. And they went to him in a couple of situations in the first half, built some confidence in the young back, and now go back to him here in the third quarter.
Bit of a high snap. Good work by Rooker there to bring that one down. Nice push there by Ayadegbe.
Cabello and Reed there to swarm him and bring him down. Gain of 2 on the play. Rooker, a little play action up the middle, wide open. And a big catch there. And that is Isaac Allison with a big catch. You remarked about his flowing locks in the pregame.
Oh, I love the flowing locks. It gives me a little bit of Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, that's it. You nailed that one for number 32.
And look at that catch. Beautiful. Takes the ball to the ground, rolls up, first down.
At the 35-yard line. So Digby with the first carry. They go to Allison. Not the typical targets for Garrett Rooker. But UBC showing its depth here. The running back and the wide receiver positions. A bit of a high snap there. Fake the handoff to Knight. Near sideline complete. And Kapler shakes one tackler, takes on 2 more, and gets it down inside the 20.
Gotta love to see this from Kapler. He's running some really nice routes out of this slot position. Keeping his eye on his quarterback, getting open for him, and then this is some tough yak yards after the catch. I'm going to take on these Calgary tacklers head on. Drives them back, picks up some extra yards. Good way to end the quarter for UBC.
Well, this game is starting to go UBC's way. The 24-9 lead, UBC not letting the punch to the solar plexus here on that last play of the first half impede their way here in the second half of this game as UBC in the battle to try and go 2-0 to start this season. And there's no gimmies in this conference. And look what Calgary's done here. They have played you've seen progress in Calgary's play from the Week 1 loss to Alberta, the 33-9 loss to this one here today. But it is a young Calgary team.
And you know, they did a good job hanging with UBC for the first half. I mean, UBC punches another touchdown in here. It's going to be pretty tough sledding for them to get back in this game, but you got to give them credit for coming out here. This is a tough environment to play in. Becomes tougher every year as Blake Nill builds his program here out at Point Grey. Speaking of building the program out at Point Grey, September 22nd, that's a Friday night. We're going to be here, UBC Homecoming, one of my favorite parties of the whole year. I mean, party/football game. I don't party like I used to. I'm a bit old to party like a university student, but if you're a university student, you're at UBC or just anyone in the region, you want to come down for a great day of football, fun, food,
And any challenge you have of any amateur sporting event in the province of British Columbia for atmosphere, if you're going to have a short list, and we're talking a real short list, that game goes on that list.
Oh, my goodness.
The environment's unbelievable.
It's just, you can see our fans watching at home can see the berm across the field.
It'll be full.
Full of UBC Thunderbird fans, and it's just a great time. Cavi Tour, everyone at the UBC athletics department, they just do such a great job of making that the annual event here at UBC. You just gotta attend. So first year students, lifelong UBC Thunderbird fans, y'all gonna love it as we see the U Sports ranking. UBC nestled at number 9. I was saying to you before the game, I think that might be a bit light, but it's still early in the season. They got
Saskatchewan in there at number 3, coming off a loss. Here's Rooker. Goes tonight. Isaiah in the open field. So dangerous. Isaiah to the corner. Touchdown, UBC.
What a charge Isaiah Knight put into that play. Unreal.
We're getting to the point now where you get him in open space. The confidence level you have if you're a Thunderbird fan in this venue today is something good's going to happen for the blue and gold.
He got to that pylon so quick. Nice little play here by Rooker. No doubt about it. Easy decision. Isaiah knights the Dinos. Takes it inside the pylon. UBC is starting to run away with this one.
Isaiah Knight came into this game in 15 career games with 232 carries, 1,480 yards. As we mentioned, 6.4 per carry. He hasn't always been the go-to guy to score the touchdowns over 2 seasons. Maybe that changes a lot this year as he goes in for only the 7th major of his UBC career.
They have a lot of options when you get down into the red zone, but, he keeps making plays like that. It's going to be hard not to make him option number 1.
Terrific play there as UBC with a quick strike there as they now go up 31-9. 22-point lead right now as we get some stats. Thanks for Stu Walters for that. And right now the total offense tilted heavily in UBC's favor, 377 yards to 192 right now for the Dinos. Sibley on the return. He's not going to get a chance to get past the 20-yard line. UBC special teams on the scene.
Just all facets of UBC's game is showing their true power right now. Special teams, defense, or offense, flying all over the field, running, passing.
Garrett Rooker, 24 of 29 for 311 yards and 2 touchdowns. That is going to net a very fine rating. That keeps up. Dom Britton right now being held to 9 of 19 for 154 yards. And, of course, the big touchdown right before the half. Britton outlets to Sibley, I believe that was. No, it was the fullback Smith.
It was Chase Henning with some just great pursuit on that play. Able to track down the Dino ball carrier, who's looks like he's a little banged up after that one.
UBC touchdowns today. Master Domenico with the 1-yard run. Edrin Williams, a 15-yard pass from Garrett Rooker, and Brad Hladek with a 21-yard pass, of course, followed by Knight's rushing touchdown. The 4 majors on the board right now for UBC.
It's nice to see Dane Kapler with 5 catches, 50 yards, 49 yards, pardon me, on the board as he moves into his new role at slot back.
Hey, you've always got maybe the most bruising running back in the conference kind of in your back pocket if you ever want to reverse some roles there at any point.
And I mean,
he's just helping himself as a player.
He can do it all, and you've like you said, you've just got options, and there's just so many options for Garrett Rooker when this offense lines up.
Evan Smith coming off under his own power after that last carry, but a little dinged up. They'll check him out on the sidelines. 2nd and 6 at the 22 for Dom Britton and the rest of the Dinos. The pass wide open to the sidelines. Gang tackled immediately.
Looks like that was a free play. It looked like number 17 for UBC, Maka Bangura, jumped the line, so free play for Calgary, and they made it count with a nice little pitch and catch to Gob Deng.
I was searching for a number there. Thank you, Gob Deng, number 85. We continue to mention a local product here, as so many of these Calgary Dinos are. Sibley and Deng lining up wide here for Britton and company. Ben Britton in motion. They're going to go to Carbone, and he is met by a pair of thundering Thunderbird tacklers.
That was Cesar Rednauer Bruckman, and wow.
Redner Bruckman, an Oakland native, but played his high school football, as we mentioned, in Nanaimo for the John Barsby Bulldogs and head coach Rob Stevenson.
They grow him tough in Oakland, and well represented Oaktown on that play. What a big hit.
This time it's Sua. He'll look right up the middle. UBC just not giving up the big plays on, looks like Ben Britton down right now for the Dinos, number 89.
Yeah, I don't know if he got caught up when he was trying to block, but that he's grabbing at his right knee, which is not a good sign. Let's hope he's okay. He's had a really strong game for the Dinos today. This UBC defense,
Get your eyes right now.
you know, if you take out that one big Hail Mary bomb, long touchdown pass to Gob Deng at the end of the first half, they've really done an excellent job holding this Calgary offense in check.
Yeah, just barely over 100 yards if you take that one play. Of course, you can't do that, but
Yeah.
you know, that just shows you through 3 quarters, UBC would have limited them to 105 yards
Wow.
of total offense. So, hey, they're picking up where they were and more from their effort last week to win on the road in Regina.
You know, and it was really interesting the day we were down here for training camp. We came out here and watched the UBC try and get a handle on the roster, and we were talking. We actually bumped into defensive coordinator Pat Tracy, Coach Tracy, and you know, he seemed like maybe his confidence was waning. He lost a few guys to the CFL. He lost Zach Herzog, their game-changing strong safety from last year, Lake Corte Moore, gone to the CFL, and you know, he said everything was going to be reliant on if the young guys could come in and take over from those stars that he had last year, the star-studded defense they had last year. And wow, mission accomplished so far. The first 2 games of the season.
And when he said it's hard to replace a guy like Lake Corte Moore, I mean, there's no question. He's a guy you don't just replace.
This guy's starting in the CFL this year.
But wow, the unit has established an identity, and now a sack. Look at that's Baker, or rather Bangura, Maka Bangura.
Maka Bangura has been absolutely devastating coming off that slot blitz all game. All game. Look at this. Just untouched. Look at how fast this kid is. Unbelievable.
And that's what we talked about last week with Coach Nill. What impressed him most was the speed that he was getting from the rush.
They have found something with this slot blitz. UBC, wow.
And Coach Tracy's defense making its mark here today. And they are all over Calgary right now. What a job
That's Isaiah Ellison, who, as we've mentioned a couple times, came in for Jarrell Cummings, but nice bit of cornerbacking there, wraps him up, keeps the gain to a minimum. Calgary's in a punting situation again. Looks like we had a little bit of confusion here on the snap. Just waiting. So we had a turnover on downs there. Something happened with the Calgary snap. So McLean, when he received that ball, he dropped down to one knee to take the snap, and they called him down. And then I think he chirped the ref's decision to call that, and there was another flag on the play. Wow, that is not a good for the Dinos. Yeah.
All right, Digby. His biggest gain of the day is going to take it to the 10-yard line, and UBC taking full advantage.
I like what I see from Ayadegbe. Once, you know, we've seen a lot of like good, powerful runs between the tacklers. That time he shows he's got a little bit of giddy up when he can get the ball into space, and he was kind of having some fast feet here, able to a little bit of change in direction, and then does what he does best, drag tacklers for extra yards at the end of runs.
He dragged the Ajayi there. You think of Master Domenico's power at the goal line as well, and Knight's such a stronger player this year. Digby again, this time dragging tacklers again. This time it's Flanagan down inside the 5-yard line.
And I noticed Derek Engels checked in at quarterback now. I wonder if we're not going to see a heck of a lot of the UBC starters for the rest of this game.
Well, certainly Engel thrives in these goal line situations.
I mean,
and Ayadegbe will remain in as the lone running back. First and goal from the 5. Engel. Allison. Oh, and he's met by 3 Dinos at about the 2-yard line.
Just couldn't get that one enough time to develop. Well read by the Calgary defensive unit. Looks like UBC is going to leave its offense on the field here. Oh, pardon me, that's second and goal. Not third and goal. I somehow lost it down along the way.
Big snap here for UBC. Engel quickly the handoff. Ayadegbe is going to get met and stood up at about the 3.
This is good for Derek Engel to get some playing time. Of course, after Garrett Rooker's injury last year, just heroic efforts by Engel to lead UBC to the Hardy Cup final. There was even some questions throughout training camp. Who would be the starting quarterback when this season opened? Of course, the UBC coaching staff not 100% sure if Garrett Rooker was going to be 100% by the season's kickoff. It's just so good to have Derek Engel.
Ayadegbe.
Oh, he wants that touchdown.
And a great job there by the Calgary defense.
Ayadegbe was so looking for his first career touchdown, just couldn't bounce that one out.
Hey, despite trailing 31-9, they've stopped UBC inside the 5 twice in this game now.
Well, Calgary's not going to quit. I mean, you know, we always know, we know the history, Blake Nill, Wayne Harris, and the whole Calgary UBC rivalry over the years. There's going to be no quit in Calgary, and you got to hand it to them. They're able to make a very good red zone stop there. UBC knocking on the door.
Fifth-year player Biggs, of course. You talk about a guy who means business out there, and he gets a big stop to give Calgary the turnover on downs. Diving catch deep is complete, and that's Zach Smith.
Zach Smith lays out and makes a nice catch there, moving the sticks.
I can clearly say Coach Smith was cheering for the Hladek touchdown. He might have the Calgary jersey. He's cheering for his own guys.
That was a bold move to wear that Calgary Dinos being interviewed by the UBC broadcast crew.
Yeah,
I
coming
like
in here in
it.
Dinos colors. But you know what? It's his son that's on the Dinos. So
Yeah, you know.
that's thicker than everything.
But yeah, blood's thicker than water. I still like the swagger though. He was sitting here and I made a comment about how the UBC fans were cheering loudly, and he was like, no, it's the Calgary fans. And I'm like, there's a Calgary fan chirping us, not knowing it was Coach Smith.
I could tell you didn't know it was him. That's why he said, hey, Coach Smith was there.
I felt a little silly after that one, but he's such a good guy.
Oh, he's a great guy. And he loved talking to you about what
Ben.
he gave you some great stuff about Hladek. It was
yeah.
Britton airs this one out down the sidelines. Deng falling backwards is going to be out of bounds, but Gob Deng does not give up on anything.
That will probably be one of the nicest catches that doesn't count you will ever see in Canada West football. Oh my goodness, he set up his hammock, laid back on it, and speared that one. He is an impressive player, Gob Deng. Wow. He's got to shore up his hands. He's had a couple kind of suspect drops here, but my goodness, look at the athleticism there. Wow.
Edrin Williams going to get taken down at about his own 48-yard line.
Edrin Williams has had a lot of touches today. He's going to need a nice cold ice bath after this one.
Things have come together here for UBC. And the quality showing, Len. I mean, it's a bit of attrition here. They've been stopped twice inside the 5, and yet they're still leading 31-9.
Exactly. And, they did look a little disjointed their first couple of drives, but since about midway through the first quarter, they've really let their offense hang out. Rooker, like you were saying, just a vast amount of weapons on the depth chart that UBC can throw at their opponents.
It is the deepest team we've seen since the late Vanier Cup, that spark UBC got in 2015 on the way to winning the Vanier Cup in Blake Neal's first year, when all of a sudden you saw that group really move to the fore. This group might be deeper. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, there are so many weapons.
It's definitely an argument to make that they're deeper on offense. And, their defense is really coming together, because we are seeing some players, and today I think of Bangura and Sangwa really stepping up their game and just being all over the field, making huge plays. As good players become stars, that's when teams really take off. And, I mean, we haven't even really talked about the depth that they can throw out at the quarterback position. I mean, Derek Engel was a starting quarterback, a playoff game-winning quarterback last year.
Did it on the road in Regina, opening round of the playoffs, so got them into the Hardy Cup final to that very tough injury to Rooker in Week 7.
And played a great game in the Hardy Cup, managed the game well. Just a few plays didn't go UBC's way.
And, of course, he played the entire fourth quarter in the win over Regina last week. Great job there to find Gavin Owen. Owen's second catch of this game, and of course he made that one big catch on third down deep in UBC territory early in this game that led to their first touchdown.
And a similar play like this, he just goes, sits down in the soft spot of the Calgary defense, and I've been harping on it all game, but turn it upfield, get those yak yards, give him the snotty nose, let's go, baby.
Yeah, there are so many guys, Coach Neal, trying to get into a rhythm here. Shamar McBean in double coverage. He rips it out of the sky and goes in for the touchdown.
Shamar McBean puts up the hands of God, pulls the ball out of the air, walks across the goal line. What a catch in between two Calgary defenders.
Yeah, laser sharp focus for number 13. Shamar McBean with a great catch. He high points it with duress.
Nice toss there by Rooker.
By Engel, actually.
Oh, pardon me, Engel. D lineman right in his face, but McBean gets the elevation, snares that one, and takes it in for the TD. Wow.
38-9 the score. Of course, UBC coming off the 25-10 win in Regina last week through almost, 7.5 quarters now. UBC has allowed 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
They are hitting on all cylinders on defense, and the offense taking a step forward here today. And no one guy dominating on the offense. I mean, you want to keep Isaiah Knight involved. You want him to be ready for RB1 kind of reps, Len, but from what we've seen here today.
Oh, they just got the depth. They can do it from any angles. I mean, like their backup quarterback comes in and throws a picture-perfect 30-yard touchdown pass to Shamar McBean. We haven't really called his name much today until that play. Although he did make a big splash play in the first half, so it's just...
Oh, and on special teams. Coming down with a big play there for the Thunderbirds. Afosa Ogbaiwi.
And look at how fired up this young student athlete is. 5 minutes from the end of the game, he's making a huge play on special teams.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah, baby. Give
Pops
me more
right
of
back
that.
up, yeah. Feeling good.
More of that. But I mean, like we've been talking about it. It's just a lot of times they'll say quality over quantity. UBC has quality and quantity this year. It's just
the depth certainly showing. As Britton airs this one out down the field, has a man, is Zach Smith. And a great job there by the Thunderbirds in the secondary. What a great job to come up and break up that play by Max Kennedy, the former Centennial Centaur at Coquitlam.
I wonder if they picked this flag up.
Oh, there's a flag. My apologies.
I think they're discussing it now because that looked like that was perfectly timed by Kennedy, but we're going to have to see.
Officials talking this one over, and we'll see.
Looks like they might be picking this one up. Because the back judge, he was pretty adamant it was an incomplete pass. No, they are going to call it pass interference. Kennedy played that one almost perfectly. I think it might have been because he couldn't get around to turn back and look at the ball in time.
Exactly. He was right into the chest of the player and trying to maneuver his body. Just couldn't do it in time. Smith active to draw the penalty there. This one to the sidelines. Was intended for Deng, but off the mark there by Britton. 4:11 remaining here.
Just good coverage all around by this UBC secondary and linebacking crew. Really like the game. Chase Henning, number 57. You saw him on coverage there. He's had a good game for the Thunderbirds. Just very stout there out of that linebacker position.
You're giving guys opportunities, and they're all stepping up.
Does a good job there again.
And Rednar Bruckman has played well, too, number 20. We've called his name a few times here today.
A lot of speed in this UBC linebacking core. They're having no problems kind of dropping back in coverage and picking up Calgary receivers.
Coach Neal said last week, Bangura, Obafaye, and Shishimbi, whose name we haven't mentioned, but he was awesome last week. First time all three had started games in the Canada West. All out of that speedy linebacking core. Little hesitation on that punt, almost got blocked. Edgerrin Williams with the football out to the 50-yard line. UBC's field position has been short fields the whole day for the majority. They did have one very long drive, but boy, they've had great field position.
Edgerrin Williams must come out and practice taking balls off this turf that are bouncing, because he is just, every time.
He can read it like a book. I mean, it can skip 4 or 5 times and he's still in. Like you use the shortstop analogy, I completely agree.
He's able to pick it up, and he's almost at full speed running by the time he's got that ball under control. Such a great player.
So versatile too. Well, here's a big run up the middle for UBC. What a great job there as they rumble down the field, and it's Riley Michaud.
I believe that's his first
Riley
carry.
Michaud, he's listed as a linebacker. Caught us by surprise there, Len. I didn't know Riley Michaud was on the offensive side of the ball.
Blake Neal was actually, he was waxing pretty poetic about Riley Michaud.
During training camp.
Yeah. He's going to get some reps now.
Well, he's got the body of a Dane Kapler type. Angle this time. They'll go outside to Haladik. But I tell you, for all you think about Engel being tough and physical in goal line situations, he's showing some touch and a want to really be a guy who can push the field vertically as well.
He's coming in, he's trying to have a better passer rating than Rooker in the game. But, he's going to come off the bench, and, it could be like UBC's obviously got this game well in control, but tell Derek Engel to take his foot off the gas if he's getting a chance to play late in games. He's going to be looking for touchdowns. He's going to be looking to kind of make his mark.
Well, the Regina Crew noted last week during that game that Engel really didn't want to come out of the game in the third quarter. When Rooker came back from a bit of a cramp, you can tell how much he wants to be in there. And they asked Rooker on the Canada West broadcast after the game, what'd you think of Engel? And you see the full support he gets from Garrett Rooker. You love these two guys from Texas that have come up here. They're football brothers, and they're only helping the team with their depth.
And and it's that relationship, the support and the camaraderie that just makes them such good players, such good friends, such good teammates.
Here's Engel out of the gun. You go down the field, overthrows McBean.
I think that might end Engel's perfect quarterback rating for the day.
An embarrassment of riches here for UBC at so many positions on the field.
As Jason Soriano, another weapon. We haven't really mentioned his name a lot today, but he just comes in off the sidelines.
And he's been a game breaker in like last season. He was a guy that really led that receiving core on so many occasions. Big time plays. Here's Engel, wide open for the touchdown.
Looks like that's number 88, Mark Webb.
Mark Webb, number 88. So many targets coming out of the woodwork here for the UBC Thunderbirds.
And when we look at the replay, watch this block by Riley Michaud. He's able to get Engel the time he needs. Mark Webb.
Oh, it's Webb. It's 88. You're right about that. And look at him. Just drags tacklers over the goal line.
Finishes the run, stretches out over the goal line.
How many different players have the UBC quarterbacks gone to today?
Break up the UBC Thunderbirds. They got guys scoring touchdowns I hadn't even heard of before this game.
Mark Webb. 6'2", 210.
just
Out of Glebe Collegiate in Ottawa, and played for the Ottawa Sooners. So, wow.
just comes in and
I mean, look what Lucas Robertson, Haladic, and now Webb have done from that tight end position in this game.
unbelievable. And what a route he ran. He finds a soft spot, and then, just the will to get that one over the goal line, drag 3 Dino defenders, stretch it out. Touchdown, Mark Webb.
And you saw the celebration on the sidelines as he exited the field after scoring that touchdown. All UBC here today with a 45-9 lead right now with 1:48 remaining.
And just so people know at home, we do our research and we try to get a handle on the roster. It's just when quarterbacks complete passes to double-digit amount of receivers over the course of the game, sometimes the Mark Webbs of the world take us by surprise. But, judging by the moxie and the skill he showed on that play, we're going to be calling his name a lot more this season.
Well, shout out to Ottawa, which is a hub for UBC recruiting. They have so many great players from Ottawa on this roster, and you saw one of them there with his first Canada West touchdown.
And I mean, this is a testament to the work Shamari Williams does, their head recruiter, his ability to find players. And we had a nice conversation with him and Blake Nill, and we were complimenting all the players he brings in. He says him and Nill have a great relationship. He brings them in, and Blake Nill is the closer.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Completion there for the Dinos as they get up to about the 38-yard line.
The waning minutes here. Minute 28 left, but at least the Dinos are still trying to make plays. Got to give them credit.
Coach Harris, obviously, after Blake Nill left Calgary and came to UBC, had some rousing success. 2 Vanier Cup finals with 1 championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And of course, UBC winning the Vanier in 2015. Calgary and UBC are the only teams since then to win Vanier Cups. Of course, Saskatchewan, though, has been in 2 Vanier Cup finals. So, right here today, 2 of the heart and soul programs of the Canada West.
And an unreal stat. This is going to be UBC's first win over Calgary at home since 2006. Did I read that right?
Is that right? I know it's been a long time, but wow.
That's just a remarkable stat.
Who was coaching in 2006? Was that maybe Ted Gavaya? I'm trying to think of who
Boy.
that would have been.
I'm going to defer to you.
That is a long, long time ago. Another pass there to Dang, I believe, and a completion inside the 40, down to about the 34-yard line.
And I know it's hard to be positive after you're on the bad end of a 45-9 game, but wow, the Calgary coaching staff has got to be impressed with what they have in Gob Dang. He's had 2 or 3 drops today, but oh my goodness.
When a kid just gives it up completely for catches that are out of bounds, there's Zach Smith off his fingertips. A tough break for the Vernon product there.
Zach Smith showing all kinds of speed on that play, and I'm not a UBC homer or anything, but that would have been nice for Zach Smith to catch that touchdown in front of his
home province, his supporters from Vernon and his former teammates. So the Vernon team is here watching the game, a lot of them, I think. So.
And his father, Coach Sean Smith, in attendance.
And actually, Zach Smith quarterbacking that team to a Subway Bowl BC title, the AA tier. There's Sibley, Baker there, still on the field, getting a initial there.
I wonder how hard it is to take Ryan Baker off the field when you're
he probably
got a game sewn up.
He makes the call
yeah,
on that one.
He only comes off the field when he asks to come off, which is probably never.
Yeah. We've mentioned a number of guys that are rising stars with this UBC team defensively. Lennon, you've really pointed out Maka Bangura, number 17, Ben Sangwa, number 15, among them, and they've been both excellent here today.
Just doing so much, such versatile, dynamic players from kind of the linebacker, halfback position. It's almost like a hybrid position they're playing there. Just some incredible blitzes off the edge. Of course, we saw Sangwa with that huge strip sack in the first half. Ryan Baker was able to fall on that one. Really kind of almost woke the whole UBC team up. They were, looking a little disjointed, little flat their first two drives on offense, and that was kind of the big play that got everyone going.
So a great job by all facets, all three phases here today by the UBC Thunderbirds.
And Crazy P is playing to the final whistle, getting the T-Bird fans chanting. 35 seconds left.
Britton remains at quarterback, goes to the end zone. Looking for Deng again. Excuse me, I can't see.
Let's give a little bit of props here to Isaiah Ellison. He came in to fill in for all-world cornerback Jarrell Cummings. He was running stride for stride with Gob Deng on that one. We already know Gob Deng can really fly up and down the field.
And they want to come away with a major score here. So Ellison again on 2nd and 10 will look to the end zone. Chased out of the pocket there. Keeps his eyes downfield, tucks it. He's going to have to take the hit out of bounds. They come in a little bit late there.
Britton looked like he might have really smacked his shoulder on the hot turf here of Thunderbird Stadium.
Let's take a look and see how that one finished off.
Kind of got whipped around.
Chase Henning there. Inbounds when he started to make the tackle, but followed through hard.
It's just, Britton didn't really have a chance to get his hands down and break his fall. And
he is so important to that team. Let's just hope he's okay.
Hope he's okay. You never want to see a player get hurt at any time, especially not in the final seconds of a game that's already well in hand.
And he will receive some assistance.
Looks like he's able to get to his feet. He's played a really tough game today, and he's been under heavy fire from that UBC defense.
They're supporting the left hand.
Yeah, it looks like
as you mentioned, breaking his fall.
Yeah, he got whipped around and really hit the turf hard with his shoulder and his helmet. So let's hope that's just a stinger and there's nothing too serious. He seems like he's improving over on the sidelines now, talking to the training staff. So this is going to bring in
pass to Sibley, and he is gang tackled. Obafaye will throw him out of bounds at about the 5-yard line.
Xavier Valancourt is checked in. It's a backup quarterback.
Wearing number 12.
So credit to the Dinos. They're going to try and punch this one in.
When you think of how great that UBC defense has played, the only touchdown they've given up was on the 85-yard. Haven't given up a touchdown from scrimmage in the red zone today. As we mentioned, UBC has only surrendered 2 touchdowns through 8 quarters, shy of 16 seconds. And that is some kind of way to announce your defense to the rest of the conference here in the Canada West.
Like we were talking about, there were some big stars on this UBC defense they were going to have to replace, but some of these young players we talked about, Sangwa, Bangura, Rednauer, Bruckman, They're all really stepping up. Kayshawn Carter's had a great game at that nose tackle position for UBC.
Yeah, there you see number 54 getting ready. He's going to play the whole game. Valancourt takes the snap out of the shotgun quickly to the end zone, has a man, and it's going to be Deng fittingly for these Dinos. What a game he's had and what work rate he's shown for Calgary today.
And, you know, he's kind of done a bit of everything, Deng. I mean, his first touchdown was just a incredible catch and run over, takes the top off the defense. This one's just a nice little slant. Nice throw by Valancourt, puts it right on the spot, right on the numbers. Deng takes it in. He's got a nice stat line for this game. Good on the Dinos for coming back here and punching one in and playing right till the end of the game.
And looks like they will go for two here. Oh, Valancourt. Oh, it picked up by the Birds. Here they come. UBC in it to the final seconds. Only 12 seconds left in the game.
That was number 36, Clark Leonard.
And Clark Leonard's had a solid game. He's listed as a guy just outside of the starting group on the depth chart heading in, but has had a ton of snaps today. Just picks up that batted ball. I didn't see who blocked it.
Was that a fumble or it looked like, well, I guess there's no replay in here, but that looked like he might have been an incomplete pass. But anyways, regardless,
we're down to a dozen seconds left in a 45-15 win, a lead right now.
Great effort by Clark Leonard to pick that one up. Take it back the other way. And also great effort by Valancourt to chase him down and make the safety-saving tackle. I hope I'm getting that rule right.
Calgary will return home next Saturday to face Regina at 2 p.m. Central Time, available obviously on Canada West TV. Meanwhile, the UBC Thunderbirds will get ready to host the Manitoba Bison, a 1 p.m. kickoff here Saturday at the stadium. Onside kick, but it'll be taken by the Birds, and they will just do what they can to get off the field as quickly as possible with a resounding 30-point victory here today.
You could almost say the game was never in doubt, but
it didn't have that feeling until
the last play of the first half with the great touchdown by Deng. But this second half, UBC has just really put their foot on the gas.
And they'll take a knee here, and let's not forget, they were stopped twice inside their own 5-yard line and gave it up on downs.
UBC just showing all their weapons today.
And that is going to do it here from Thunderbird Stadium. The final score after this snap, 45-15, the UBC Thunderbirds, a definitive victory to move to 2-0 in the conference. Nationally ranked UBC living up to the preseason hype and getting it done again with a comprehensive effort in all three phases. Len Catling, your final words on today's contest.
Offense looked lights out, the defense played great, and even the special teams looked like they came ready to play and were ready to go. UBC, they started a little slow, but once they got their adrenaline going, got their game faces on, they just looked like a very forceful force to be reckoned with this year. And I really do feel like that number 9 ranking nationally is only going to go up.
And let's talk about answering some questions after that incredible performance by Flannery Fleck last week. 6 for 6 on the field goals, but you wondered, was the finish going to be there? And I think with the number of majors UBC put on the board today, they've answered that question.
They were able to punch it in. A couple great plays in the red zone, doing it through the pass, doing it through the run, and a very balanced attack today for UBC. There was drives where, they would rely on the passing game. There was drives where they just rely on pounding it up the gut with Isaiah Knight. It was really good to see Kapler, number 33, kind of filling into his position as a slot receiver this year. He had 6 catches on the day, so just a really promising performance for this UBC offense. And you think they're going to probably, if they have another gear to hit, that's going to be a really fast gear.
That's a great way to put it, as the teams meet at midfield. And you know that the great rivalry between these two great programs will continue. These young Calgary Dinos, I know they're hurting right now, and they've scored 3 touchdowns in their first 2 games this season. Both were pretty decisive now in the defeat column, yet we see a lot of positives moving forward.
They definitely got some pieces that they can build around. They got the 2 Britain boys. They're showing some great chemistry. Gob Dang, man, I was impressed by him, his speed, and he needs to shore up his hands a little bit and just always make sure he's securing the ball before he turns upfield. But boy, oh boy, when he secures the ball and turns upfield, watch out, because he can make a big play out of nothing.
Well, the UBC Thunderbirds have certainly stoked the interest. They get a chance to do it for the first time this season in front of their own fan base. That's going to build with the Manitoba Bisons next week, and you really have a crescendo with all of these early home games when homecoming comes in a couple weeks against the Alberta Golden Bears.
Yeah, and UBC, they've been kind of notorious slow starters to their seasons over the last few years. And, it's a big difference when you play these short seasons in Canada West, jumping out to a 4-0, a 3-1 start, as opposed to jumping out to a 2-2 start or even a 1-3 start, as we've seen some UBC teams in the past. Then they really have their work cut out for them late in the season. So make some hay in this 3-game homestand to start the season. They got the big road win to start the season in Regina. Now, it's all on the table for them. If they can, they can really make a tasty meal for themselves, so they can jump out to a fast start in Canada West.
And that'll do it for everybody here on the Canada West production team, including our producer extraordinaire, Shoyal Brown. We want to thank everybody for their excellent work today. Thank my analyst, Len Catling, for his analysis. As always, I'm Howard Samura signing off, and welcome back. Please keep your eyes on the UBC Thunderbirds on Canada West TV in the coming weeks.